Lots of happy little children waiting for sunrise, a stocking full of candy and a big surprise. Look at the happiness in their eyes, they're glad it's Christmas. People caroling into the night, where the snow is falling, their sleigh bell rise tonight. We'll snuggle to a nice warm fire. I'm glad it's Christmas. But before this day gets underway, think of how much love you wish to give today. Then wonder why we can't give it all every day. There is no reason every season needs love. People really need one another. Man, woman, boy, girl, sister, and brother. We wish happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you. And for this holiday season celebration, let's lift our hands to the holy nation to say thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Happy birthday to your son. Happy holidays to you. Hope is the strength we need. Love is to share it, yeah. Peace is to be with everyone. Hey, hey, hey. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you. Happy holidays, happy holidays. You see, people really need one another. Man, woman, boy, girl, sister, and brother. We wish happy holidays to you. Happy holidays to you. We wish you happy holidays. Whoa. To happy holidays to you from the listeners. Happy holidays to you.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the progressive news show with Let's Be S3. I am your host, Marlon, along with Theas, along with Anna Hart, along with Tracy Carson. This is a change that I was telling everybody earlier today in the community channel, that it is the holiday season, whether you feel like it or not. So, dog on it.
Well, that's also, the spirit, Mr. Grinch.
Well, I'm a stretchy person. I was going to wait until next week, but then I come to the realization that And we don't have but 3 weekends this month for us to broadcast. That's it. This weekend, next weekend, and the following weekend, and we won't see anybody again until the New Year's. So yeah, let's celebrate. Let's have a joyful occasion. Hey, Diaz.
Hey, I forgot all about that song. I like that song. I didn't realize it was that long, but I like that song.
I do
The Whispers is one of my favorites.
The songs that I'll be playing is some of my favorite songs. So, needless to say that one song will not be played on this show. I'll give you 3 guesses. Hey, Anna.
Wonder what's on. Hello. It's almost my birthday.
Yes, it is. This is the last Saturday at 42.
It used to be a rule. Yes. It used to be a rule that no Christmas songs, no anything could come on until after my birthday because I was greatly cheated out of so many. Basically, it would be my birthday kind of celebration and Christmas and solstice and New Year's. So I always had to share.
I never liked that. And I don't even know how, me personally, I'm just speaking of me. I can't see myself doing that. I don't share celebrations. Like everything has its own reason to be celebrated. You celebrate Christmas because it's Christmas. You celebrate a birthday because it's a birthday. You celebrate whatever holiday you deem as a holiday as that holiday. It's several different things. You may be tired by the end of December, but okay, you still gonna have to separate it. I'm not combining anything.
As usual, I'm the weird one because I don't assign a lot of value to any of these arbitrary holidays. So my birthday for more than a decade, and it was mainly because divorce situation. But me and my daughter's birthday are 4 days apart. So I didn't have a birthday for more than a decade. I just used my birthday as her birthday. And so this is what we did. And Christmas doesn't mean that much to me. I'd like to just get up, go to church, come home, and eat. You know, the presents part I think is just so overdone and it hurts people to such a deep extent that the momentary joy of the gifts is overshadowed by what it really kind of costs. So yeah, I'm that joyful guy. I love Christmas movies, but I don't have enough attention span to sit through them anymore.
Yeah. My Christmas thing.
I hear that.
Christmas movies, which is cheap, but whatever. I just like to find a different version of A Christmas Carol and watch all those movies. Like there are several different versions of A Christmas Carol, like Diva's Christmas.
The Disney one with Scrooge McDuck and Mickey Mouse.
Scrooge McDuck and Mickey Mouse. Sometimes I watch the original with Charles C. Scott. There's one that has the Fonz in it. There's Henry Winkler. I ain't gonna say, but just in case you don't know who Henry Winkler is, the Fonz. There's one with Susan Lucci in it, which is my favorite one, and that's Abby. There's one where Cicely Tyson is Mrs. Scrooge. I mean, there's a bunch of them that I run through. That's my tradition that I watch all the different Christmas carols.
I just have to watch A Christmas Story at least once.
I still have not watched The Christmas Story. Not once.
Wow.
I gotta watch that at least once every Christmas season. And then I gotta watch the old school Grinch and the new school Grinch. Well, let me correct that. The original Grinch and the Jim Carrey Grinch. I don't really care about any of the other
Ah,
Grinches that
okay.
they made. Um,
Tracy, what's yours?
and Elf. I gotta watch Elf.
Um,
Watch Elf every year.
I want to say this first to Parker. Parker, I hope you check your email because I, sir, owe you an apology. And I explained why in the email, but I hope you accept it, but I'll understand if you don't. Um, but favorite Christmas movie, I got two. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, I'm going back to the old school. Um, I like A Christmas Story. I like the Muppets, um,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Christmas, and
Muppet.
Charlie
for
Brown Christmas pretty good.
some reason, I don't know why this. What movie? What movie is it that I watch every year? Oh, the
Die
new
Hard.
tradition. No, not Die. I don't like the Die Hard movies. They're all the same. I watched the Star Wars Christmas special.
I ain't never heard of that.
Really?
Oh, it's
There's
on
there's a
YouTube.
reason.
It is both terrible and funny at the exact same
Wait a
time.
minute, is that the one that's the musical and they're all dancing and
There's a musical section, but it's about Chewbacca gets kidnapped. I don't even know what the plot is. That's how terrible it is. I'm like, the plot.
you took
I
the
just
biggest character and kidnapped him?
they're like,
Chewbacca is huge.
look, I watched
So
this
what?
movie
What? Tall people can't be kidnapped, Marlon?
Not that big dude, no.
and the,
R2D2 would have been easy to kidnap than Chewbacca.
but I watched the Star Wars Christmas special. It is both equally bad and terribly funny at like the same time. I both laugh and cry. It's just one of those things I've done. And the best part is when they do that little musical. Yes, you do, Parker, because I confused you with when that one lady said a vote for Cornel West is a wasted vote, and I went like totally off. I said, Parker, you know better. And I didn't realize it was Lori Parks, and I just saw the park part and went off, and I'm like, that wasn't right. So I sent you a whole email.
So in other words, all you Parkers look alike.
No, I just wasn't paying attention. And like I said,
That's what I just heard.
See, now that's not what I was saying. I'm trying to apologize to Parker because I feel like I offended him, and y'all done turned it into I don't even know what.
The thoughts and comments expressed on this show is not
Oh my gosh!
exclusively
But
agreed
YouTube,
upon
look,
by Saturday Night Vibe or Radical Truth.
go
Power.
to YouTube and type the Star Wars Christmas special. I guarantee you cannot leave that without laughing.
I'll do that as soon as I get off this show tonight. Hannah says she'll be right back.
Oh.
I had to go in the middle of your stream, so I didn't see that.
Oh,
part.
well, skip that part. I went way off. I went way off. I'm like, you don't tell me. And then I said, you know better. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, well. Without further ado, let's get this party started. Hopefully my internet will be a lot better come the next 3 weekend shows. I think I figured out what the issue was, but these next 3 weekends will show it. I think what it was that all the kids was off on Thanksgiving vacation, so the bandwidth of my neighborhood dwindled. But now that some of my back in school, maybe it's better, and so far it is better. I haven't had any issues, but
You know
like
what
I
you
said,
want
I'm
to
just
do? Get
I'm
dialed
going-
up so it can make that sound.
not a chance in the living world.
Need some of that fiber.
What, the internet?
Yep.
Yep, you
Because
get
fiber
yourself.
internet doesn't throttle down your speed based on other people's use.
Yep, and get yourself an ether cord like I did. I'm like, you know what? I'll just plug it straight to my computer. Of course,
Well, I
I'm
am
doing-
plugged into my computer.
You know, but if you're on like Comcast, Charter, or any of those guys, basically anything other than ATT fiber from what I've experienced. It's you get
I'm on,
throttled down because everybody's on there.
At the
I'm on,
same time.
I'm on AT&T. I don't think any of those are.
My
But is
condolences.
it AT&T fiber?
I don't know, and that's why I stopped at AT&T. I don't know. I
You
got to
just pay
check
that bill
that.
every month. You're like, who I'm paying this to again?
I don't know. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check. Honestly, that is something I'm gonna check when I get off the show because it's like, uh. But then
Yeah,
again,
them
also,
Comcast people came to my house trying to get me to switch. First of all, I told them as soon as I opened the door, I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not switching.
Oh, I
They're
told
like,
him to
well,
stop coming to my house.
who you with? I said, I'm with AT&T. I got AT&T fiber. It works great. I love it. He's like, how much do you pay? I said, I don't know. And it's the truth. I don't know. Because it ain't about the price for me. Like, I had it where I was focusing on the price and speed and trying to figure all that out. And I was not, when I was with like, I don't know, I think it was Charter. But because it's a cable line, if anybody else in my neighborhood is using a lot of internet, which is very common now, people work from home, then all of a sudden my speed slows down, and it ends up making me drop off my work network. So I was like, nah, I'll just stick with this here. I haven't had any issues. We good.
all right. Let's move on. I know I played this before, but I also know it was a long, long time ago. And like I said, we got brand new viewers. So even though, yeah, you played that before, we got brand new viewers who that's maybe the first time they've heard it. We've had a very good year on this show. More than I thought, more subscribers than I thought it was. And I even got emails where they started calling us influencers. Now, of course, they also, you got to be careful because as influencers, you're saying blah, blah, blah. But still, the fact that you called us influencers. There is a certain gap of influencers, either YouTube, TikTok, whatever their base is, who thinks their influence, and because they have so many likes and clicks and whatever, that they should get free stuff. All they got to say is, "Oh, I'll shout you out on my show, and that'll get
Oh,
you
it's that
business."
story.
Oh
But
yeah, this one. Oh, Lord.
oh, let's look at one of these influencers real quick. Let's look at how this started.
Oh my god, I would love to come by and shoot with you. Wow. I would love to collab. We have some killer matching dresses to shoot soon. We would be maybe 20 minutes, if that. I can tag y'all, and you can use my images too. I have 40,000 fans and 500,000 followers on TikTok. Hey girl, sorry. We can only accept paying clients for all bookings. Thank you though. Still? We have 15 million likes on TikTok now and 600,000 fans. We would come for 20 minutes, max. Hey girl, sorry, we really aren't looking for influencers wanting free time. This takes time away from paying clients, and your numbers aren't helpful for our business. As artists ourselves, we always encourage the community to support each other by doing business professionally. We've known of your work for years, and it's amazing, but as artists, we would never ask for free work from the community. And so we can't allow others to do that to us, especially with influencers of your caliber being in such a lucrative career. Knowing that you continuously ask multiple studios for free time is unfortunately disappointing. Wow, I'm not trying to be rude in any way. I was seriously excited to help get the word out for you guys. On our TikTok, we get 15 million views, and I had a cute viral video idea to help spread the word for you guys. My lord, you must not know how any of this works. I get paid $10,000 to post on TikTok, and I was offering to shoot there for 20 minutes for free to help you out, and you're being super rude towards me. That's pretty crazy to me. Wow. I'll make sure to never support you or what you do. Ridiculous. You are out of touch as hell. Hilarious. Oh, do you have a 90-year-old person running your account? I see. I went ahead and unfollowed her. Thanks. I'm also letting all of my blogger friends know about how you talk to me. and to never ever book you or the other studio you run. We will never refer you, ever. Good going. Bye.
But what? There's more.
Oh yeah. Just a quick shout out on this one. I don't even know why you upset other than you got called out and now you butt hurt. And now you realize that not everybody's going to give you something for free because, and I know you want it for free because you constantly keep saying your numbers, your viewers. You keep saying that over and over and over again. I guarantee the person on the other side know what they're missing out on. That's not the point. The point is they literally have to be 100% sure they get paid for every person that's covered. Not for somebody who just shows up and go, I'll shout you out to that show. First of all, we don't know if you will or not. Second of all, we don't know if it'll be, will it be successful or not? So no, nobody wants to take that chance. This is a business. That one Roland Martin video popped off and now y'all are all influenced. The Roland Martin one, the Tom Hanks, learns about Black history. There are some videos that just went thousands of views and hundreds of comments. So, but Roland Martin, Roland Martin was the one of the biggest ones we've had.
Roland Martin said something about us.
No, the people.
No.
Roland, I did the Roland Martin one where the guy who come to find out was nobody.
The guy from Indiana, the Republican. And
we thought was running for office. He wasn't even running for anything. And Roland was like, okay, you worked in what community? And he kept not giving communities. He kept giving counties.
Neighborhoods and stuff. Yeah.
And I kept saying the county is a neighborhood because I was trying to explain our Indianapolis and Marion County are pretty much the same thing.
Oh, yeah. And Bo of the Fifth Column was got some big views too. So yeah, we got a lot of views.
Thank y'all, everybody out there. There you go. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Oh, the last one also too. The which is shocking but not, but Cheva's getting stabbed got some views too, but
yeah, I think everybody was just looking for show and being stabbed by somebody.
Yeah. And then we got the same morons who got banned, but I was suspected it. Only two to be surprisingly, so good year. Maybe it's the holiday season. Let's go ahead and move on to the second video. So the influencer keeps coming back.
Then on OP's official business website, the TikTok influencer posts this as a review. Hi, Sarah. I think that you've completely misunderstood me, and it was really unfair for you to go off on me and be super freaking rude towards me. I was barely asking you if I can come there and promote your studio and do a video and promote you and tag you in your studio, and I would shoot for only 20 minutes. This is never about money. This is about supporting local artists, and I loved your studio. And I was so excited to shoot a little bit of content there to share with my fans because I feel like they would love your space. I could understand if I was asking you for hours of time for free to shoot paid work there. That would be ridiculous. And whenever I do collaborate with people who own any peer spaces, I never ever shoot paid jobs there. If I have a paid job, I'm going to pay to rent a space to shoot it, so it's a tax write-off for me. And I would make sure to also tell the owners if it was a paid job so I can also pay them and pay to rent the studio. I'm a really fair person, and I'm a really nice person. And I thought that you were a nice person too, and a little bit more hip when it came to marketing and collaborations with other artists. I barely asked you for 20 minutes to shoot something really quick with me and my daughter, who's 2, and you go off on me and say that I'm disappointing? You really are not a good business person or marketing person. You could have easily responded that you loved my account and that you would let me know, and leave it at that with no bad blood. I'll make sure to never refer your studio to anyone I know, and my photographers will also know how rude you were to me, and they will never refer you as well. Why make an enemy, especially a blogger, and especially someone so aligned to what you're doing? Unreal. So dumb. You should really learn some business etiquette and marketing. Because you, or whoever was running that account, acts like a 90-year-old person who has no idea how collaborations work in this day and age with bloggers. In fact, for me to promote your studio, you should have been paying me. Way to make a friend. Smart business move. I really hope you weren't the one messaging me on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, block this lady or person. I'm assuming it's a woman because of the way you read it.
Woman. It's a woman.
I remember this one.
It's a woman. Okay, let's keep it going. So, she still ain't done. Still ain't done. She's so butthurt, so she finds a different avenue.
Man, it just keeps coming. Okay, apparently that still wasn't enough because then the TikToker shoots this person an email on their personal account. Subject, one last word. Unreal. Don't bother writing me back. I'm gonna block your email. If you want to make this right, which I highly doubt, you can write such and such. But if you're running your business Instagram account, or if you have anyone else running it, then you should really talk to them. As a business owner, you should really be kind always and deflect. It wouldn't have hurt you to say a kind thing about me and how aligned we are and that you would check and see and just leave it at that. One time, I saw a girl take photographs in a 50-person space and she was a blogger and I asked her about the space, she linked me, and I booked it for paid work. I also referred that space to my friend, who's a very famous musician, who booked it as well for her video shoot. It's really dumb to make an enemy of a blogger who was so excited to spread the word about your space on social media for free. The video was about your space. Hilarious. I work with Peer Space too. They pay me to shoot at different spots, and I was going to pitch your space to them for the next collaboration, and we both would have been paid. Dumb move. I'll also make sure that my famous blogger friends and my famous musician friends know how rude you were to me and never ever book your space or refer it.
But wait, there's more.
How is she saying that this is not a paid job? Whenever an influence type person posts anything on TikTok, that is technically part of their income. Yeah, but it's not a paid job for the other person, just them.
And also, there's not a paid job from the standpoint of apparently this person's at that level of subscriptions and activity that vendors will pay her to be in their space. So that's another way they make money. Kind of like a rap artist who goes to the club. They don't pay to go in the club. They don't pay for anything when they're at the club because the club makes a lot more money by saying that this person is here. And everybody else just comes and spends money that way.
Unless you T.I., because then he come find you.
Well, T.I. was right to do that. But I my concern about that one, just as a weird tangent, is I can see a spiral starting, and I just hope that T.I. pulls back and goes back to being private again. Because there's nothing good for you out here when you start flexing on your city. Because we love T.I. out here, but the government don't love him. And all the good work that he's doing, there's a lot of moneyed interests out here who want nothing more than to humble that black man. So I don't know if this will ever get to T.I. And T.I. got better advisors than I would ever be to him. But yeah, I could see a bad thing coming. So,
all right. Let's move on to the next one.
Wait a minute, before you play it, why is the narrator reading it like that? His voice is getting on my nerves.
His voice is the worst. His reading voice is the absolute
This
worst.
is Karen's voice.
I guess so.
But he does it the whole way. It's so terrible. In every video,
it's annoying. It's like
the Karen voice is supposed to be annoying because Karen is annoying. That's the point. You can't just read it like a doggone man and get the point across. It's supposed to be annoying.
I don't know. There's other people who read videos and they don't sound like that, and they're so So I mean, whatever. I mean, that's his style, and it's his style, and people like that style, but I don't.
I like it.
Me either. Thank you.
I don't like any man that sounds petty and childish. It's just a sound. It's the sound of a man doing it. It's just and then he does it for so long. But okay.
Well, we got two more, so sorry. Well, technically we got
I know
one.
he's one of the guys that we hear a lot, so I know it's gonna be more. I was just saying his voice is irksome.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the point. You ain't got me but for 6 more shows. Okay, she's still not done. She's still not done. Here she comes again. But she took a entirely different avenue to get to the studio, I guess what it is.
Then, oh my god. Then this choosing beggar DMs OP from her daughter's account. You're saying lies and showing only part of it. You're acting like I asked you for your free space for hours. I was asking you if we could please come for 20 minutes to shoot your space and promote your space for free to our fans. We were excited to meet you and be friends. I wanted to support local artists, and you're spreading lies about me. Acting like we asked you for hours of free space to shoot paid jobs there. It's so unfair. You took it all wrong. Then she posts on her Instagram stories and says, I hate being so misunderstood sometimes. It sucks. I hate how women can be so mean towards other women. I don't get that. Why can't we be kinder to one another?
Because you're annoying. How about that?
Says the woman who is
A stalker?
blasting at every. Yeah.
But
what I would love to say about this person, I'm not allowed to say. So y'all can fill that in, because
Okay.
this is someone who's they're not right.
Here's the deal, and this is what's so funny about it. This is literally the part I wanted to get to. I'm gonna tell you what's stupid, lady, or dumb, or whatever. You said dumb a lot, and you also keep rolling that 90-year-old crap out there. You are not the brightest person in the world when you write crap like this, when you write it out. She don't have to say bad things about you. All she literally have to do is repost what you're writing her. That's it. She literally doesn't even have to say a word to anybody. All she has to do is repost it. This right here, in case you missed it, is up to this point where the studio started reposting everything that she's saying, and now she's getting backlash from her fans. And now it's hitting her like, wait a minute, hold up. You're taking it out of context. You're
the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. You're the bad guy.
She didn't say a word. She doesn't have to. All she has to do is repost what you're writing. That's it. All your fans got to do is know how to read. She got to say a word. So yeah. Now you're getting backlash, and now, oh my God, and it's so unfair and everything else. And
the point at the end where she's using her daughter's account. First of all, last time she mentioned her daughter was 2. But anyway, she's using her daughter's account only because she was blocked on the main account.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so she's finding ways to still needle this, to be honest with you. She's really just trying to needle this. And she could have let this go, like you said. Could have just let this go, move on, be a professional, like you try to use on her all the time. So be a professional and move on. It says you so
that's the thing.
You could have had 3-4 other studios by this time. But no,
the thing is, it's about you rejected her. Yeah. And that's it. That's all that matters. She's locked on, and she's gonna go, and until somehow you see her point of view. Even though the more she goes, the worse it gets, right? And then one of the things you said, be a professional, but the reality is in this social media environment where any of us can go viral and become famous within a matter of hours or days or months, professionalism isn't something that's built into the game. You know, I mean, we have people who hate to sound, any kind of particular way, but they didn't do well in school, but they have found their niche and they're doing this thing and they're good at that thing. And a lot of times that thing is being messy or being controversial or just being entertaining, right? But being good at your craft doesn't make you a professional. You know, you still the same rough around the edges, ready to get into a mud fight kind of person that you were before. You know, so money doesn't make you better. Money just shows who you are.
No, no. And I'm coming to the conclusion that education doesn't make you a good person either.
Oh no, it
I
never has. But
no,
what education can do is teach you how to look at things from more than one angle and how to assess things from different ways. Now, in the wrong hands, education would be disastrous. I mean, you learn how to manipulate people. Um, you learn how to overthink people. You know, all kinds of stuff. So, education doesn't make you a good person. But what we're like, to me, it's like we're in this weird era, and it's definitely in the last since Obama. Like, there was such a reaction to Obama that significant portions of the country decided we're against anything that he was. Right. So if he's black, so okay, we're gonna go against minorities. He's part immigrants, we're gonna go against immigrants. He's very educated and polished, so we don't want that. So they went and got the polar opposite, which is Donald Trump. But that's just if you're looking at America. You draw out some, America's just one pea in the pod, right? Because Israel's doing the exact same thing. Brexit was about all the same things. What was going on in with things in Russia, I think. Then they had a little uprising. Same things. It's like really the Europeans are running amok, and it ain't working out so hot in a minute. But I think overall it's all going to balance itself out. It's just going to be ugly for a little while.
yeah. I'm feeling a little better about the future, and when I say
I'm getting the hell out of here if Trump wins.
I don't. Well, never mind. I said the same thing the last election.
I said if he wins again, I ain't got to go. And I'm trying my best to figure out a way to do it. I've found some really nice places to really look at.
I got something
come back and visit.
In May. I got something that's coming up in May. I'm going to be paying real close attention to my environment around that time and see what I can work out there. So, yeah.
And one funny thing is, like, the reason why I say the things I say about like leaving or whatever, because it's not a very popular position. Like a lot of my family ain't down for that. You don't really find a lot of black people who are willing to leave America for anything. Like, we're so in love with this country, we can't even imagine being somewhere else, which is really interesting. Like, really, really interesting. But I'm like, there's other places to go. The world is a big, beautiful place. It's too big and too small to always be in the same place, you know? But really for me is I don't want my children to have to navigate the new version of 1950s America. I don't want them to have to navigate that. And I know me, I know where I'll stand if things pop off. So it's not healthy for anybody involved, right? It's like people are looking for an excuse to start fights for no apparent reason. We got people fighting over parking spaces, people who will try to take your life because, I don't know, you told them to stop yelling at somebody. I mean, it's so many things right now. And like, if America's going to have to resettle itself, which is about its time, America's what, 234 years old or something like that. So America's in that window of time where it has to fall fall down. I don't know if it's the right term, but every major nation goes through these cycles. So America's due for a reset, and I don't want to be part of it.
All right, let's go ahead and get to this last one so we can get off this lady.
Oh, is it still the same lady?
Yep, but this
Oh,
time
Lord.
you ain't got to worry about hearing the crazy voices that bother you and get so your nerve. You're gonna hear from Karen herself.
For 20 minutes to Darius. I asked to come there for 20 minutes to shoot something with my daughter, and that's disappointing for free when I charge a lot of money for postings and we get like 12 million hits on our TikTok and we do really well actually with video here. And that's disappointing. That's crazy. Who runs this account? Are you 90 years old and not know how influencers work? That's hilarious. You guys are really out of touch. It's crazy. I asked, can I shoot there for 20 minutes with my daughter to do a viral video and like support you guys and post you around, and people will book your studio because it's colorful and very on brand for me. They will book your studio. And then you go, it's so disappointing. Then you're asking for a collaboration. Influencers collaborate. Are you 90? Who is this?
Yeah,
I
her
don't
voice
know
is
which one
exactly
is
what I
worse.
thought it would be.
Her voice, or the parody, or her voice. I don't know which one is worse.
Parody's definitely worse. Her voice is
Yeah.
classic. She's just a normal voice for a white woman. I mean, I'm like no up or down, positive or negative to it. It's just the voice that I've heard in my life many times. Right? Her attitude is the problem.
She got a stank
Right?
attitude.
This thing where because you got I don't know what Facebook fame.
She will not
you think
take no.
everybody's yeah. I'm like, this is your fifth swing.
They don't want to work with you.
I don't know if this was what Theus was going to talk about. I'm not putting words in Theus's mouth. I would not ever dare to say that. So if I take the blunt of the criticism, it's me that's saying it, not what I think Theus was going to say. We got to remember that when this video came out, it was during the prime of the pandemic. As much as we like to say that the studio was open and she wanted to go, trust me, it was on a very short leash. We're wearing masks, we still distancing, we're still taking temperatures, we still having sanitizer at the front door that you got to rub your fingers together before you walk through the door, and you probably got to rub your fingers on the way out the door. With that said, we're going through the pandemic era with very little openings coming up. What was one of the main things that we realized that was an issue during the pandemic was mental illness was on a rampage. We have people who were separated for loved ones. We've had people who didn't see other people for a year or more. The only communication that you had was through TikTok, through Instagram, through Facebook, through YouTube. That was your interaction with other people. Now, you combine that with could have had mental illness before all of this happened, could have contributed during it. We don't know. I'm not a psychiatrist to even say something like that. But what I'm saying is as my wife would say, shady tree doctor diagnosis on things was she was very influential. She got clicks and likes and hearts and views and money and prestige, and everybody knew her, and it went to her head really quickly. So to take what Theus did say, she could not take the freaking word no.
See, I'm going to disagree.
That was from that point of view at that time, that was foreign to her.
No,
the last part is about the only thing I would write.
Yeah, because I'm like, if she was as influential as she says, companies find you. They find you. You don't have to go looking for them. They know where to contact you at. If she's that influential, she wouldn't have had to have asked, "Can I shoot?" They would have been asking her, "Can you shoot?"
There are people who I disagree. I'm doing this for a long time. There are people who do not feel that way.
But I'm saying what the facts are.
People who really feel that their voice is the influence. What I ask for goes. And I want people searching out for me.
But I'm not saying that she doesn't feel that way, but I'm just saying if her numbers were as solid as she's saying, there's no way she would have to have asked them. They would have been banging at her door talking about, can you shoot our studio, please? Thank you. There's no
well, that's not the problem.
You're saying either or, and I'm not saying it's either or. I'm saying that there are people who want both.
Right.
There are people who want somebody to be knocking down their door, asking you, and I want the ability to ask for whatever it is that I want and get it. It's not an either
I think
or.
for her, I think for her it's a both, because I have people who would pay me to come be in their spot and publicize them, because they're growing, or they are also influencers, or whatever, any number of reasons why they would beg for her or negotiate with her to come to their space. She can't handle that there's a different group that'll say, I make money my own way, and you don't bring added benefit to me, so no thank you. So for her, it's like, how dare you tell me no, right? And that's that part. But what I was going to say earlier, Marlon, to detract from the first part of your statement, only because you kind of you were speaking to us like what you were expecting me to say. I personally feel like mental illness is always being scapegoated, and I wish it would stop. So, like, she's got bad behavior. She's spoiled. She ain't right, but she's not right. I wouldn't put it on mental illness. I would put it on, she's just not a good person. Like, her sense of self is inflated because her fame came too fast, or she got too many yes people around her, or whatever her issue is. She's just not a good person in this light. She could be a magical person in every other way, but in this light, it doesn't show her in a good footage. And so I say that because COVID, I swear, man, it feels like people were so lazy. Generally, us, big us, so lazy that we blame everything on COVID.
Sure did.
The kids can't learn because of COVID. The teachers can't teach because of COVID. The employee works. People don't want to come to work and do their job because of COVID. Like, you really think that 2 years of it was significant? It was a plague, right? But you can't put everything on that. It's just an escape way of not going after real underlying issues. The problems we have with social media and people getting instant fame, that's about social media. That's about how we glom on this different personalities. People who do a lot of positive content, they don't blow up, but it be messy or be funny. Those two things will always give you a better chance of blowing up. So there's something about society that's what we want. COVID ain't got nothing to do with that, right? COVID made it so we had to come in the house. It's like one of the points you made earlier when you were talking about like George Floyd, which was so perfect. Social media and COVID came together where people had to sit still and they could see what was happening, and that's how the world paid attention to what happened with Chauvin and George Floyd. But at the same time, social media has gotten our attention to where we just move from one shiny object to the next. And I don't think it's right to blame COVID for our short attention spans. It's not right to blame COVID for people acting bad with power and influence, because people have done that since we started peopling.
Well, let me push back on one thing that I remember about COVID. The only thing I remember about COVID, and I've said this before, so I have the receipts. The thing about COVID is that it slowed the world down. So when I say that it slowed the world down, if the George Floyd and the perfect storm is during COVID, when a situation like that happened, they didn't automatically move off that story like before, and be honest with you, sorry America, but you know I'm telling the truth, and like now. You didn't move off the story until there was a conclusion, one way or the other. Before this, before COVID, it'd have got what, a week, maybe a 2-week coverage. After COVID, same timeline. And I'm being nice, because I'm at this point in time, I'm giving you about a week before you move on. But COVID had forced people to actually have to sit there and watch how ugly America has been darn near your whole life. You just haven't noticed because you were so entertained by so many other things. The bouncing ball that, yeah, that's bad, but look at this. And you just move on to that. Yeah, look at this.
Well,
and
I don't.
move on to that. But when COVID happened and they took that entertainment out, where you couldn't go to the movies, where you couldn't go to the park, where you couldn't go to the museum, where you couldn't, and that was your only form of entertainment, was what was on TV and what was on the internet. Oh,
Well, see, I agree, and then I wonder, right? So even before COVID, we had issues with, ever since we got smartphones, we've had issues with us just being attached to our screens, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse over time. So I wonder if
Since
what
TV.
happened with, but TV, we still went outside, right? Because it's like you had an entire social life when TV came, but then TV went from being 4 channels to being basic cable, and then it became big cable, and then it became pay-per-views, and then it became you can record it. Like TV continued to grow until it hit your cell phone, and then it continued to grow, right? So what I'm wondering is, when we look back at COVID, because there are a lot of stories who did not get any attention, even though it was happening during the COVID time. We still have a limited amount of outrage attention that we will devote to things. But COVID to me was unique in many ways, but one of the ways it was unique was that young people across all demographics, they couldn't find jobs, they couldn't work, they couldn't go to school, they couldn't do anything. Like, they were literally shut down, and all of a sudden they started seeing each other's commonality, because when George Floyd hit and all the other murders and issues that were going on, the young people led the way. The young people looked at this and said, no, we're not going to drop this, and focus attention. Left to our own devices, the rest of us grown folk, we still wouldn't have paid any attention, to be honest with you. And what took George Floyd to the next level was not that it was on tape. It was because of the type of witnesses that were on the scene. If it wasn't for those specific types of witnesses, it would have been like every other time that the police killed somebody on video. And we would have had a what about and what happened before the video started, and, just comply. And, so I wonder. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Can't go back anywhere.
I don't know about that. I don't. Because I just really feel like let's go to the protests after the George Floyd, and the protests, 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 and the protests. I know you're irritated about me saying and the protests and the protests, but it was a lot of protests. Don't think that would have happened before or after COVID. I don't think we would have had that many. I don't think we would have had protests around the world. I just don't see it.
I'm not saying that they're mutually exclusive. I'm not saying they're mutually exclusive, but I would say to you, though, that it wasn't George Floyd's murder in and of itself. All of this stuff built on itself. So when you got global attention was George Floyd, right? But all the protests that's been happening in America, in, where is it, Seattle or wherever all the stuff was happening, and all these different places around the country, that was because one after another, and it's only because the media chose to focus on it, because it didn't stop. Okay, it's just that now is not what they're focused on. But
Right.
people were tired of seeing one body after another dropping because police make mistakes, police get scared, police have their own agenda, police are covering up, any number of reasons. But all this stuff is boiling down to people being killed. And so the energy was flowing, and George Floyd hit, perfect storm, boom, it blows up. Whole world paying attention, and like you said, because of COVID, everybody's paying more attention because there's less things to distract you in your own personal life that you can focus on. But what I'm saying is causation is not correlation. Correlation is not causation. So it's like they're related, but I'm not saying they're mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I was trying to go.
And I guess what I'm saying is I'd have a feeling that if it wasn't for COVID, this would have been another footnote in history.
I don't know that it would have.
I don't know that.
Or even a foot,
We remember Sandra Bland. We remember there's so many names. The name went out of my head. But Tamir Rice, right?
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor, right? Alton Sterling, Philando Castile. Like, we know these names. And that wasn't about COVID. All of it anyway.
No.
But the drum beat kept going.
Yeah, the what
What I would like, I'm sorry, Tracy.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're just basically. I don't necessarily like the what if games because I'm just more of a. It happened. They could be related, not related. It doesn't matter. The thing that I think matters to me most is we get behind these movements as well as we should, and then Black people are still being killed. Police are still committing abuses.
Yep.
Where are the protests? I think
protests are still happening.
That's
still
what I'm saying.
happening.
I didn't say they weren't happening, but do you see any of them?
But where?
That was the point I was about to make, which
You
is
don't
why
see them.
it's so important for especially us as Black people. We have to move from being mobilized to being organized and staying tied into what matters to us, no matter what other people want to tell to us. So long as you are counting on your opposition to tell you to score, you will never know the score. You'll never make ground. You'll never be able to execute your plays. So just because CNN, MSNBC, and all of them are not showing you the news, they're not showing you that, is because that's not what the current sweep focus is. It's, you got Shark Week and you got Kill a Black Man Week, right? It's the different seasons. And just because they're not putting it in front of you doesn't mean it's not continuing to happen. We still have the same issue with police abusing their authority.
Exactly.
We still have the same issue with qualified immunity. We still have the same issue with prosecutors having full immunity and judges having full immunity, not even qualified. You can't touch them, right? No matter what they do. So we still have those exact same issues. We still have mothers grieving across the country, white, Black, Latino, and other, that their son went out and didn't come back home, right? All of this is still happening.
Yeah,
but the focus is on Israel, or we'll focus on the economy, or we'll focus on Biden tripped on a bar of soap, or it's whatever. Trump is major. Like, these companies are wetting themselves because Trump is bringing money back to their advertising dollars. So it's
that was going to be my overarching point about why we need independent media so badly, because MSDNC is not telling the story. CNN is not telling the story.
Oh, good gracious! You just used a Donald Trump talking point.
I did. MSDNC. That's what they are.
Who is MSDNC?
MSDNC. Fox.
Democratic National Convention.
Oh, jeebus.
But they're not telling the stories. I know there are protests going on all over the country, but I bet you my cousins don't know unless I tell them. I bet you my neighbor doesn't know. I bet you the person across the street doesn't know. And why?
And that's that individual's fault. That's your cousin's fault. That's your neighbor's fault. Not your fault. It's their fault, because just like you can go find things, they can go find things. The problem is, can you find something that's reliable? That's really hard nowadays. But you can go find something if you want to know something. It is not CNN's job or responsibility, because they're a private company, to bring you on a silver platter what you want to know about. No, there's sources all over the place. Go get what you want. But one of the points you made, like we need more independent media, I fully agree with you. But the reason we don't have more independent media is because we do not support independent media.
Sure
So
don't.
you can come out and you can be TYT, and TYT was TYT for as long as they were TYT. But then their ratings started dropping because they're a dinosaur when it comes to social media empires, right? They're one of the first ones to do it. So their viewership starts to drop off because there's more people doing what they do, and they're on the upsurge. So TYT has to moderate and start moving to where they can get more viewers and more money in. Well, those who are more old school, been attached to them for a while, are like, wait a minute, that's not the TYT I know. So they go to their other platforms. That's natural. That's how business works. That's how it all ebbs and flows. But that's also how independent media dies. Because CNN and MSNBC and Fox, they're the big three. That's like DNC. That's like the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. They ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing. No, they ain't going nowhere. But TYT, Benjamin Dixon's platform, what's some other ones? That Tyler Cohen, like those types of things, they got a life cycle.
Yeah.
Eventually, our attention will shift. They'll fall, and we'll move on to something else.
And that's what I think really gets to me, because I do my best. Like, hey, look, we still got protests. We still got to get out there and tell people, oh, but Fox said, or, well, I'll just use our local channel, but Channel 59, no, stop listening to Channel 59. They're not telling you the truth. They are not telling you the truth.
Local channels are the worst because they're all owned by like one organization,
one person,
which is they're just like Fox. Like literally, the company that owns almost all of your domestic television channels is this company that's just
Disney,
like Fox.
I don't think most people know that Disney owns Fox and ABC. I don't think most people realize that.
And here's the deal. There's a part of me who I really want, and I'm just speaking for myself. I really want people to stop blaming the big four, the big three, or whatever you want to call it. Fox, CNN, MSNBC. They're a business. Their business model is to get as many views as they possibly get. To get as many views as they possibly can, they're going to get the news that people want to listen to. In order for them to do that, that's how they get the advertisement. That's how they get the money. But you're blaming them instead of sitting there going, they would actually go a different route if people wasn't watching them. But they are.
Well, you demanded something different, yeah. Just to clarify, Disney does not own Fox.
I thought Disney owned Fox.
No, the Murdoch family owns Fox, lock, stock, and barrel. It's all there. But
all right, I missed that part. No, Disney doesn't own.
No, but I agree. But with Tracy's point, though, I agree with, and Marlon's point, I agree with. It's just what happens. Why can't people take self-ownership? What is it so hard for us to take accountability for our own choices and our own actions? I choose the type of media that I choose because of me. I can't put that on Fox did or MSN or whatever. Theus chose this channel. Theus chose this type of content. Theus wants to be fed this type of entertainment. Theus likes violence. Theus likes comedy. Theus likes romance. That's me. But people don't want to do that. They all want to look for somebody else to say, well, other people are doing it. Yeah, but what about you?
Yeah, we talked about you as an individual. And I know I'm going on a real long tangent and we got to go. I'm using social media and I'm using media platforms and things like that as an example. But that wording that I just said, it really started with television shows, different television shows. And oh my God, we need to ban this show. We need to take this show off the air. Why are these shows still popular and everything else? I can't stand reality TV shows. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. produced, because it's not reality TV shows, produced, written, whatever. I never liked it. So why is there so many reality TV shows? Because people are watching reality TV shows. If people wasn't watching them, they wouldn't put them on. You got to understand that the networks are in the business of making money. That's it. Period. They're not in the entertainment business. They're in the money-making business with a side hustle of entertainment. If it entertains you, they're going to make money. So let me see, what's making us money? Reality TV shows, sci-fi shows, comedy shows that's raunchy, TV shows that's raunchy, cartoons that's well beyond kids thing. It's adult cartoons. Why are we having these shows? Because people are watching. The more people,
now there's two sides to that.
Advertisement want to pay into their advertisement.
If we stop watching, they're not going to stop doing the weather 18 times in a 5-minute segment. You just did the weather 5 minutes ago. Why you got?
Yeah, there's two sides to that, right? There's a side that says if we don't demand it, they won't give it to us. That's one side, and then on the other side is they give it to us, and we think that's what we demand. So that both are happening at the exact same time. So it's hard to draw the clean line, but I do say at the end of the day, it comes down to us and what we are choosing, right? No matter what the companies are deciding, we are still the ones choosing. Like, you could listen to country music all day, but you keep turning to the jazz station. Well, that was you deciding that my taste is jazz, so I'm going to go to the jazz station. But then it gets deeper. The jazz station didn't ask you which jazz songs to play today, but they do pay attention to when their ratings drop down and what songs are being played during that time. So each side is pulling and pushing off of each other the whole way. And Tracy, I do want to say also, so Disney doesn't own Fox, but Disney does own Fox Sports.
Yeah, because I just went and got clarification.
Right, that is weird.
They own 21st Century Fox, which I thought was the same. And I'm reading this, they own a ridiculous amount. They own ABC. I know they do.
Oh, Disney is monstrous.
They own ESPN. They own Hulu. They own Marvel Comics. They own
they're on all sides of
Toy
everything.
Story, Star
They need to be
Wars,
broken up, be honest with you.
Indiana Jones. I'm like, why are they allowed to do? But the point I was making, there used to be this rule that one company couldn't own broadcasting stations within the same city. I don't know if that rule went away, but I know the same company that owns CBS locally owns a Fox station, and they own like their own little classic TV. I'm like, that's a clear violation. Will they ever get prosecuted for that?
Oh, the FCC broke that up. The FCC dropped that rule. So that's why they're able to do all that.
Like, wait a minute, you used to could not do that. And I'm going to say this. Could local news please stop doing the weather 18 times in 5 minutes? You literally just did the weather 5 minutes ago. Why you got to keep doing the weather? Why? I can't.
Sports.
No.
Weather.
No, they start off with somebody got shot.
Sinclair Group. That's what I'm saying as far as the local news.
I'm getting the top three things because it was a joke in
traffic.
One movie. I couldn't remember it. No, traffic is morning. Not by afternoon.
Yeah, I said morning news.
Oh, morning news, traffic, weather, last night sports.
Yeah, somebody got shot.
Throughout the day.
Somebody got shot.
There you go. That's the third one. Throughout the day, crime, weather, sports.
Now,
that's why old people are terrified. That's why the old people are terrified.
Terrified, crime, weather, sports, entertainment.
Yeah, they made.
But that's always. That's always been the
I'm like,
formula.
y'all just did the weather 5 minutes ago.
Well, they do that because in the morning people aren't glued in, like they're washing clothes or they're ironing clothes or they're getting this and they're doing that. So they repeat because you don't know when someone's actually tied in. It's like every 5 minutes they're just rotating through their different little things. But yeah, I mean that just
don't let it be a winter storm. Do not let it be a snowstorm. They got to send that one person out in the street. We're covering the snowstorm of whatever year this is, and we're gonna ask Bob and Jane how they're doing. And then they slide.
And the hurricanes.
Oh my gosh!
Let me go ahead. Let me get the last word so we can move on to the second hour. I don't know if you the bravest people in the world or the craziest people in the world or the dumbest. Those are your three categories. You people that stand in the middle of a hurricane with wind and rain, and you can barely keep your hat on. And by the way, just in case you don't know, I'm just going to let you know, we don't understand a freaking word that's coming out of your mouth.
The wind
Because
is
all
getting
we
But
hear
we
me.
is
can't wait to watch it every time. That's why they
I
do it.
refuse. I refuse to
I
watch
can't
it.
do it. Because every time I
That's why
feel
you
like I
know
do
about it.
not want to be the person to see this guy go kite flying over the railing into the ocean because he
That's what
thinks
you're waiting for.
I am not.
That's you
Somebody
are.
said,
That's what you're waiting for. That's
I
like people who aren't hockey
not
fans
want
watching
to be
hockey. You
witness
waiting
to
for the fight.
I do not want to be witness to now you see him, now you don't mentality. I don't want to
poor
see
Al
it.
Roker, he
We
still
say
hasn't
that.
recovered from that one
We
hurricane.
say that. But the dark part of it, if we just would be honest about it,
Yep, we want
and
to
that's
see
why
it.
I keep preaching to people, be honest with yourself if you can't be honest with nobody else. That's why we watch. We are watching to see that guy. Is he going to fall over? Like we front of mind. We don't want nothing bad to happen to this guy, right? But we're still watching just in case, And that's what we
Or
do. I
the
mean,
Thanksgiving
it's
giveaway.
unfortunate. That's what we do.
It's like,
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and roll over into the second hour. I just realized that I'm a very good person because I can't be witness
I
to that.
can't
I don't
watch it.
want
It's
to see
getting
it.
on my nerves.
We're gonna go into a 4-minute break to reboot and
It's changing
refresh.
everything.
Yep, I'm changing everything. We have a full second hour with Am I the A-Hole, Mafia video of the week, and Foxy's video of the week. So 4-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
I wish every day could be like this. Wish every moment could be like this. A home filled with love, family and friends. We'll toast into the season till the seasons. I'm so glad about today. Tis the season. Watch the children while they play. Tis the season. And I'm so glad that we're all here. Tis the season. We made another year. Tis the season. And I wish every day would spell like this. Serve every meal with love like this. We'll gather round the table with joy and bliss, and toast into the season till the season. I'm so glad about today. Tis the season. Watch the children while they play. Tis the season. And I'm so glad that we're all here. Tis the season. We may not another year. Tis the season. Oh, I'm so glad about everything. Oh, every day. I'm so glad about everything. Everything our heart desires. I'm so glad about joy that our love brings for us. For us. Oh, I'm so glad we're here together. 'Tis the season. We made another year together. 'Tis the season. Watch the children while they play. I'm so glad. 'Tis the season. Watch the children while they play. Want everybody to feel the presence of love. And while we're here together, I want you to hold on to that someone you have. Because nothing ever really feels this good. You see what I want you to do? I want you to just hold on to the love we had. I'm so glad we're together, watching the children while they play. Oh, 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 oh,
We are back, and before anything else, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Radical Truth tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come in and support us. Please go to buymeacoffee.com/Tracy Media LLC. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And as always, if you need to reach me, you could do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's radtp@outlook.com. You backwards. YMCA.
The movie.
That was a movie?
It was a movie. There was definitely a movie. And they sang the YMCA.
I was thinking Vogue personally.
I think there was a movie. I'll admit the microphone looked pretty cool.
Madonna, Vogue.
Potato.
And Caitlyn Jenner. I know it's Caitlyn Jenner was in it.
I would low-key be funny to play Christmas music in the background of the same slideshow of the civil rights leader and protest movement image. Yeah, I really got to make sure I don't do that. So I'm making sure that it covers the whole background.
And then you're going to have In My Mind as one of the Christmas songs. Silent Night by the Temptations.
I'm going to tell you this. One, I try not to do what everybody listens to every year. So
that was really nice. I enjoyed that.
And you notice I called it In My Mind at first, and then I had to remember, it was Silent Night.
Because everybody calls it In My Mind. Everybody.
I just called it Temptations Christmas song.
Everybody says In My Mind when that Temptation song In My Mind. Everybody does that. Everybody keep forgetting it was Silent Night.
All I care about is Johnny Hathaway This Christmas.
I try to like that song. I
love that song.
I try.
That and Mariah Carey, them two Christmas songs, I'll play them on repeat. Love them.
Mariah Carey is not one of the songs.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
This Christmas I gave him my heart. That one?
No. All
This
I want for
Christmas.
Christmas is you. Ooh,
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
that one, the
Yeah.
annoying one that
Now
she
you had to
sings.
say which version was the best. Donny Hathaway's version of that song was the best.
Well, Donny Hathaway's is the only legit version of that song.
Chris Brown did a
Chris
version.
Brown was a good. Chris
Don't
Brown
ever
was a good
mention
version.
Chris Brown. He is what? Oh God, no,
Chris Brown is a good second place for
I
that
mean,
song.
not a good
no.
human being, but I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. We're not gonna go
we're
there.
just talking about musically. He didn't do terrible. I mean, it's just I'm just like I only know 2 songs by Donny Hathaway. This
Kind
Christmas
of
and the
my
theme
sister
to the
line
mod.
fly
That's
right here.
it. That's all I know about Donny. I know his daughter. I know his daughter Layla, but come on, I don't know.
You know, Layla Hathaway, her music gets on my nerve.
I don't think I've ever heard.
If I did, I don't remember any of her songs.
She's a good singer. I just
Yeah.
her music choice doesn't always work for me.
Mm.
But Mariah somehow does.
Yes, I love Mariah.
Okay, here's the funny thing about it. Anybody who sits there and say Mariah Carey can't sing, I have no
We're
idea
not
what they're
saying she
listening to.
can't sing, but them crazy high
I'm just
notes get on
saying
my
I'm
last
not playing
nerves.
that Christmas song because I hear it so
I got
many
one for
freaking
Christmas. Is you
times.
no, we
I could
don't.
go into 3 stores and they play that song. I could get on the radio and the song is playing. It's enough is enough. It's a good song, and you just racks it.
It's a terrible song.
It is not. It's a very
No, it's
good
not. It's a
song.
great song.
It's
You
terrible.
just don't like it because they play it like they were playing Britney Spears in her heyday.
Ooh, ooh.
Oops, I did it again.
Or Beyonce, every time she comes out with a single, they'll play that song into the
Who?
ground. Beyonce.
Again, I'm asking who?
You know who Bay is.
I listen to none. I literally know no songs of hers outside of Destiny, like literally none.
Well, outside of Destiny's Child, I can't think of none either. To be honest with
Nope.
you.
All I got be like, oh, well, whatever she did with Destiny's Child, that's pretty much all I
Well, that's the
know.
same. That's the same thing as Taylor Swift. Like
Oh
Oh, I don't even know
gosh,
about Taylor.
I can't
no,
name you a
no.
Taylor Swift song.
I can't name not name one. I know she
And
did an awful version of September that somebody should have told her, "Don't you never do that again."
I'll take your word for it. I didn't know.
I think
I never.
somebody did tell her because she slowed down after that.
Yeah, don't you never do that.
But they
You
now is a Taylor. Now Taylor Swift is a quote unquote lifestyle.
Well, she's literally they created the anti-Bay. Like you have Beyonce, and
Yep.
then they needed somebody to be that alternative, so they created Taylor Swift, and then Taylor Swift proved all of them to be fools because she got out there and said, you know what? I don't care. Open the door because I'm gonna come out here and show you what I can do. And then she just took over. So
Theas, what do
get your
you
money.
think are the what do you think are the best songs outside of this Christmas?
Oh, he's talking about Mariah Carey songs. Not every song.
Oh, okay.
I know you have several.
You know, I go by the songs, not the titles, because that's I'm black. But like you know, the one where she's on the tire swing and she's like, "Will always be my baby," like that one. That's the do 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 do. That song.
Oh my god.
Hey, I'm black. We don't go by
There's a lot of
naming the
people who
songs
don't
like that.
like
We go
that.
by the way we mimic. So,
Mhm.
You Tracy,
so that one.
you literally did it earlier.
And
Didn't
then
Uh-huh.
the song,
you
and then
literally
this is
did
the name of the song. It's a rap. I love that song. And then the one that she did where like Eminem was the love interest and she was like getting married and well, I don't remember the video, but that song,
Oh,
I like that song.
yeah.
And basically anything Beyonce, I mean not Beyonce, anything that Mariah did in her first couple of albums, I'm definitely head over heels for
I'll give
those.
you that. Mariah Carey's first 2 albums were really good. Like
I
you
was
could
in middle school when she came out, and man, there wasn't not one of us who did not have her CD.
trying to hit them crazy high notes. You can't do them. Stop.
And she hit
She
No, I'm
them.
saying she
hit
did
That
them.
was her thing.
No,
She
I'm telling
hit
that was her
every
thing.
note. There was only
I'm not saying she
Those were
didn't. I'm
truly
saying
the
that we
notes.
tried to imitate
She's telling her to
her.
stop.
I'm
Oh.
saying for all the wannabes, don't you let her do. Now she
yeah.
can't hit them now. She cannot
It
hit them
literally
notes
is
now.
only so far.
There's
It's only been
nobody who can hit something that they hit back in their 20s.
I know.
I mean, especially we're the exact same age. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mariah is my age, so she started doing this when she was 17 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything about the
Jackson 5 Christmas album.
no
I'll go way back on
Whitney
ya.
Houston when she tried to make that comeback. Boo, I'm sorry. That
But
was
she was that we gonna just
Yeah.
remember
But she
Whitney
was
for
dealing with. Well, it
substance
depends on
abuse
which comeback.
She had a
Because there
lot.
was one of her comebacks where she was great. But I never really liked Whitney's music anyway. Like I loved her singing voice. Like she's really talented as a singer. But the songs, I just there weren't a lot of Whitney Houston songs. I just I like that song. Like they just weren't. You know? Kind of like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had 40 years of music. But
almost 50. Because
well, okay, you say that, and I get what you're saying, but because everybody keeps doing the albums after Thriller, dude, you have Thriller and Bad.
No, you have Off
No.
the Wall. Everybody sleeps on
Off the Wall was his best album, but
Dangerous was okay, but you could tell the incline from Thriller.
But there's a natural incline because you're aging. You're not going to
Dangerous,
sound the same.
And then I don't remember any album after Dangerous.
But by the time he did those, History was a good one.
History was just the greatest hits album, basically.
Smooth Criminal, whatever album that was.
That was on Bad.
Was that a Moonwalker? Whatever, but he had great music. I'm just saying, like, people remember the songs that touch. That's a beautiful thing about music, right? It's what touched your heart or locked into your brain at a particular season that you were going through.
And some groups I wish
For
I had
some
never
people-
heard of.
What was the song that Michael and Janet did?
Scream. I can
They
tell you
did
right
Scream
now, it's
together.
Scream.
Scream. Okay.
That song was lit.
Now, I'm gonna say something that's controversial, and I know it's controversial.
Janet Jackson can't sing.
No, I said Janet Jackson can't dance.
Oh boy.
What?
I know he keeps saying she can't dance. I'm like, what? Are you out of your mind?
No.
That's what she's way better at dancing than she
is.
at singing.
She is the ultimate performer.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
No, don't you, Anna. When she got older, she did start dancing better. But when you go back to watch Pleasure Principle. I'm not even gonna say anything else. And don't even argue with me until you watch Pleasure Principle and tell me in Pleasure Principle she could dance.
Okay, I'm gonna say
But
this.
you're taking a woman who had a 30-year career, and you're saying, wait, but did she back when she did Rhythm Nation, she couldn't dance.
That one video.
It got better.
Here's what I will say about. Here's
what
I will say.
Video.
But here's
look at our first videos and look at our current videos.
Yeah, we got way better as we got along.
We got thousands of dollars production and a choreographer either. What are you talking about?
You do. Javier, we still remember you, brother.
Javier does not exist, people.
Javier got worked over. Here's what I will say about Janet Jackson. Terrible singer. One, she went from
terrible singer.
She cannot sing. Her and J-Lo got the same disease. They good
actors.
No, I'm gonna say what I came to say. They good actors, they good dancers, but they can't sing their way out of nothing. But Rhythm Nation, that album was fire. Period.
It was a great album. But what I'm saying, J-Lo, don't you listen to these people. Don't you let nobody talk bad about you, J-Lo. J-Lo, you were just fine. You were just fine, J-Lo. J-Lo, you just fine.
She's a terrible singer.
Keep singing, keep acting. Keep doing all the things you're doing.
No, that's what I'm gonna say. J-Lo, if you want to sing, knock yourself out. I don't care. J-Lo, if you ever do another movie again.
No, I'd rather see her in movies than singing.
I love her movies.
Oh gosh, she made some terrible albums. I'm like, all we know is Jenny from the Block. That's literally the only J-Lo song I know.
Well, most of J-Lo's greatest to me was cameos. So it was like when she was with like Ja Rule or LL Cool J or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Aaliyah can
her
do it.
romantic comedies, I love those movies.
That's
When
why I
she
said I'd
did
rather see her
Enough,
act.
great movie. Yeah,
Movies,
you know.
but I don't want to hear her sing nothing. No
I'd
thing
rather-
do I want to hear
And
Jennifer
then her,
Lopez sing.
I can't tell it apart because I don't have a distinguishing enough ear. But I have heard some of her music that she does in Spanish, and that's good too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just can't tell it apart because I don't
All
listen
I'm gonna
to it
say
enough
is
to
Janet
do.
can't sing, but Rhythm Nation is fire. Period.
Okay. Anyway, my controversial take.
New Edition's a great band.
One of the greatest of all time. Yes.
I'm glad
That's
you
okay.
said
That's
one
okay.
of because you
That's
used to say the
And I
greatest, and
did
I'm
say
like,
one of, so get off my back. I
Yeah,
said
he's right.
yeah, he
He had
did.
to leave room for New Kids on the Block.
Yep, had to make room for them.
Uh,
In O-Town.
No.
Another bad creation.
No. Anyway, my point was Off the Wall was better than Thriller.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it was.
Thriller sold more, but Off the Wall was a better lyrical album than Thriller. Everybody know
But didn't they
that.
come one after the other?
They came right after. And that wasn't, I hate when people say, Off the Wall was not Michael's first solo album. He was doing solo albums when he was with the
He did
Jackson
one
5.
before Off the Wall.
No, he
Let's
did
Get Loud
several
is-
before Off the Wall.
Let's Get
He
Loud.
did
is-
I don't know. All I know is Bad, Thriller, Off the Wall. Those are the three album names in Moonwalker. I know that one just because he had the movie and
There
the
was
video
no,
game.
that was the
But-
movie. But that Moonwalker was a movie, not an album.
He didn't do an album for that. I thought he had an
No,
album
it
for
was
that.
just a movie. It was a 15-minute
And a video game.
Yes. But it wasn't an album called, he had no album called Moonwalker.
So
What
Anna,
album
are
was
you
Annie Is You
watching-
Okay?
Anna, are
Bad.
you watching Rhythm Nation
No.
or Pleasure Principle? Yeah.
Hey man, that whatever that rope, satin rope or whatever the rope song with the album, Janet Jackson. Boy, when she came back, That's the Way Love Goes. Oh my goodness, I fell in love with Janet all over again. Ooh, what? Ooh, Janet. Anytime, any place. Oh yeah, Janet.
Yeah.
She still can't
That
sing.
Should Be There is the debut solo album by
Thank
Michael
you.
Jackson.
Thank you, Motown. Way before Off the Wall.
1972.
Be there in
Way
the
before.
morning. 12-year-old boy talking about waking up in the morning with some grown ass woman. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Mm.
Please, we done had songs like that since the 60s.
Or the
They
50s.
don't make it right. They don't make it right.
They make it right, but let's not concentrate
People
on that.
been
one
burying-
song. And wondering, come on, y'all, why that one song? Yeah. Me and Mrs. Jones.
What about me and Mrs.
That
Jones?
was
Those are
about
two sitting
adultery.
adults. Those are grown folks.
Yeah, they was just cheating on their
Oh, no.
spouses.
Yeah.
No, what was the song that I always had an issue with?
Well, Michael Jackson caught his mama cheating on his daddy. Was he
Santa
dressed up like
Claus
Santa
is
Claus?
kissing Santa Claus or whatever that
as
song
we
is.
as we
I saw
lay,
mommy kissing Santa Claus.
Thank
as we lay, I really want you to.
I hate that song, but it's a good song. I hate that song.
I like
Good.
Shirley Murdoch who
Good.
sang the song, but I don't like that song at all.
Or that
Good.
other song, Tonight's the Night You Make Me a Woman or something like that. That thing about the underage girl first time having sex. That song, the song sounds good, but when you listen to the words, you like,
What's that other song we listened to? She said, I had to be a prostitute to make money for a song. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, I
It's
don't
an
know that one.
R&B
I don't
song.
know that.
It's an R&B song. Oh my gosh.
that Pretty
I'm sick of
Woman, the stage play. I don't know.
No, it's a real song, and it's an R&B song, and she does some rapping on it, and basically she raps about how she had to be a prostitute to keep her, to feed her
It
kids.
wasn't
and
popular.
stuff.
It wasn't popular enough then. So
No, it was popular. I just can't think of what the title is.
then it
I
wasn't
just
popular.
can't imagine how that would go.
I don't want to know.
Had to be a hoe so I can get me some dough so I can make sure that
Them songs in the
You had
90s, though,
cookies
they did
at
hit
Foxy.
Yeah,
different. though.
that's the issue that I've always had with Superfly. When I was growing up, and it was like Superfly was a great movie. Oh, it made the Black people community lift up and feel like they can.
No, it didn't. They
I
stereotyped
looked
it.
at the movie and went, let me
But
get
it
this
was-
straight. Hold on, this. I said So I watched the movie, if you want to call that, because the middle of the movie was a whole bunch of freaking pictures. Way to be cheap. But the point is that I was making was, so let me get this straight with this movie. The point is, this drug dealer wants to sell enough drugs to get out of the hood. Are you serious?
Yeah, he wants to sell drugs.
That's the whole premise of it.
That's black, but that was the black exploitation film period, and we've had this conversation before. Yeah, I look at it in two lights. One, I can't watch those movies. Okay, those movies were elevating pimp culture or drug culture, or I didn't like the movies. I just didn't like them.
You didn't
but
like
except for Pam Grier, love Pam Grier, but didn't like the movies because I don't like black exploitation like films like that. But at the same time, you look at it and you say, why did that era of film exist? That era of film existed similar to when Tyler Perry started doing his thing. In order for these black actors to have the ability to get cast in roles and be seen doing more complex roles, they had that. This was what was available to them. Hollywood said, this is what I'll let you have. You can be a pimp, a prostitute, or something like that. And that was what we could get.
What was Robert Townsend movie? What was the first Robert Townsend movie?
Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle.
Look at that movie, and it explains everything that Thea just said. That movie flat out tells you that's what.
Or you could just watch "I'm Gonna Get You Sucker," the spoof. The song.
I love that movie. I love that movie. How much is just one reel?
Is it a hot take to say men? Is it a hot take to say "Man in the Mirror" isn't that great of a song?
I love that.
You're just wrong.
Yeah, you're just wrong. It's wrong. You're wrong. That's a great song.
I remember where I was when I heard that the first time.
But like everybody thinks he wrote it. I'm like, he did not write that song. But it's.
I don't ever think of these artists writing any of their songs. So if I find out they wrote it, I'm surprised.
Okay, the song that I was talking about. The song that I was talking about where the prostitute says she sleeps with people that she doesn't want to for money for her kids. It is called "What Would You Do" by City High. I knew this. It came out in the 90s.
Oh no.
Yes.
I'll have to look that up.
City High sound like a mall, like a store in the mall.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
and of course, Lady
Hi, LL. How you doing, babe?
Hey, LL. How you doing?
Hey, LL. Yeah, we showing how old we are. When music was good and they didn't have to go into studios and do fake sounds. And like
wait. The 90s is 80s. By and large. Well, yeah, the 80s. No, well, the best era of music, in my 80s. Opinion, is going to be the 60s because that's where they had to do their own music. They had to do their own lyrics. They had to do everything themselves because they didn't have all this stuff going on. In the 70s, kind of. In the 80s, it was still creative, but they were starting to sample. In the 90s, they started stealing, right? They would like take chunks of songs. And now what we have is they'll just take the whole dang old song. They just act like it's theirs. Like,
the 80s had the greatest music ever. We had Luther Vandross.
No, it didn't. They had great music, but no. The 60s had better music than the 80s. Easy.
No way.
Okay, everybody, we got to stop because we are
Motown is
38 minutes over the hour. We haven't did one thing yet. Thank you for
the I think we did a lot of things.
Yeah, we talked about some great music.
Well, he means we haven't played a video yet.
They know. Am I the a-hole? So I'm going to go ahead and play this video just to get it out of the way.
After a great conversation. Yes, you are there, Hope. Sorry, hi.
God dang.
Just saying.
He gonna take himself off.
Right, he's the one with the button. He's the one with the button.
Mm-hmm.
And don't you ever forget it. So we're going to go ahead and play this video because I've had it for so long and that I just wanted to get it out the way. But it kind of makes me feel old because I feel a certain type of way about the issue. Marriage for convenience.
Okay, to make it short, I married for money. My husband is with me for appearances, and we're happy with that arrangement. My husband and I married because I have all the qualifications to please his family, and he takes financial care of me. We're very fond of each other and even love each other, but not in the classical marriage sense. We're like amazing roommates with some benefits. He and I are free to live our lives independently and without stress. He's not worried about being cut off from his family, and I'm finally financially stable enough that I can work whatever job I want to. The problem is that my sisters have never approved of my decision. They say that I sold myself, which, fair. But still, me and my sisters used to be civil with each other. Last week we had a family barbecue. I went without my husband. Everything was going great until my oldest niece, who's 21, sat down next to me and we started talking. Then she asked me straight up if I was with my husband for money. I explained to her how we met, our agreement, and so on. She then asked me if I think that it would be okay for her to pretend to be her gay best friend's girlfriend. I told her it was up to her to decide, and even then, only if there were no negatives to it. It was a lovely talk. Strike two was apparently when my other nieces asked me where my husband was, and I told them that he was on vacation. They asked me why I didn't go with him, and I said that we only sometimes go together on vacations. We usually take little trips together, but go on longer vacations with friends or family. My other niece, who was 16, asked me if it was true what her mom and aunt said about me being a gold digger, and I just said, I guess so. Like, that just doesn't faze me. I know that my sisters constantly talk about me behind my back, and I'm not ashamed about my marriage at all, so I saw no need to lie. Later that night, my sisters cornered me, and we had a fight about my words with my nieces. They said that it was completely inappropriate what I told them. That I'm free to live my messed up life, but to not let my niece think that it was okay what I do. I called them small-minded and that I was only answering my niece's questions, and I was even honest. They're free to their own decisions. My sisters kept cornering me, calling me all sorts of names, and saying that I was basically influencing their daughters negatively because I'm miserable. I said some words back and left, not talking to them for the whole week. Now there's a huge fallout because I pulled out of the family vacation because of this fight. But this vacation would be at my husband's summer house, and since I'm not going, my husband doesn't feel comfortable lending my family the house. My family's been calling me a huge butthole, and my sister said that I was blowing things out of proportion. Am I the butthole? Should I still go?
This is like 2 weeks ago.
No, I wasn't 2 weeks ago, but I remember this one.
Oh, good.
Me?
We don't have to
This
talk
was
about
my
it.
first time.
So, Anna, I'll let you speak on it so we can move on then, since apparently I've played it before.
People get married for all different kinds of reasons, and as long as they are not hurting anybody, not getting abused themselves, okay. I taking the ages of the nieces to be 16 and up, her answers were fine. If you don't have enough of a relationship with your girls that you can't talk to them and say, I don't agree with my sister because, and then lay out your case, I don't know what to tell you. No, I don't find this person this is where the hypocrisy of, I don't want to have nothing to do with you, but I really do like the convenience and the house that he provides for vacation. You're actually using him more. They have an agreement. So I don't find her in the wrong.
This was terribly inappropriate to say to a teen, but the older sister shrugged, this sister should have had conversations with her children. I remember this now. I do remember playing this because I remember LL and Anna. The sister didn't send the niece over there to get advice. The sister sent the niece over there to shame the sister by asking.
Oh yeah, this seemed like really pointed questions that.
Yeah. And when she gave her an answer that she was comfortable with and confident with, it backfired. So that's what it was. It had nothing to do with. I just think this is an avenue that you would understand more than me. So I'm sending you. It wasn't a good faith thing to do. She was sending niece over there to try to shame her, and it backfired. So now I'm gonna be mad at you because the sun came up on the wrong side of the sky. Who the hell knows?
But they was gonna use if I'm getting this story, if I remember it right when I just saw it, they were gonna use the summer house of the husband that was using her. I mean, they was okay with that part, but they didn't.
Yeah,
like what?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Like they go just.
They're using him more. At least he has an agreement.
I'm gonna be mad at you. I think
They have
you're an
principles.
individual. I think you're a terrible person. You
But
are
we
bad
want the summer
influence
house.
on my daughters. I wish you was never in this family. At the same time, everything that I just said to you, I need you to get over it because I need something from you that I've already set up plans for.
They got principles, man. It's like, look, you should never have married a bank robber. You know that our family does not believe in stealing and taking things that do not belong to us. But that's in the past. Okay? You have the house.
Yeah,
see, the money that was stolen, that's wrong. But you have the house. So it would be even more wrong to not use the house. The house didn't do nothing to nobody. See?
I might have to disagree with LL. She didn't have to keep it. One of the girls was like, but one of the girls was actually a grown woman of 21.
Right.
And the other was 16, old enough to know better. Come on, nah. If they was little girls, okay, yeah, then I can see where you're going.
Yeah.
But you said they had every right to keep the girls away, but why have the temper tantrum? Because, like I said, it wasn't getting great advice from somebody who had more experience in whatever the question was. It was, I need you to go over there and embarrass your aunt.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. On top of that, it was good advice. Nah. I ran out of gas, and it's all your fault. Any excuse would do to be mad at the aunt. But it doesn't matter.
This is all they live on their high moral ground. But boy, he's got that vacation house. Why don't we go there? Yes, the husband was exactly right to cancel the house when the wife said it doesn't.
I'm not going.
Am I for this type of marriage? No.
That's the deal about the husband. I would not feel comfortable having everybody there but my wife.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious? Like,
even if it was a marriage of convenience, she knows it's a marriage of convenience. He knows it's a marriage of convenience.
I need people to stop with that also, because look,
that's what she said.
Men marry women predominantly. Well, not marry. Men choose women predominantly based on appearance and sexual attraction. Right? It's an animal drive within us, having progeny, whatever the right term is, having kids, stuff like that. That just happens on mass. And then women en masse, so I know individually I'm different and all that good stuff. But women are generally looking for protection, stability, and provision. So we're already not coming to the table equal as far as them being, mirror reflections. We come equal based on the importance and the value. So it's not uncommon for a guy with the resources to go get the woman with the attributes. It's just what it is.
I'm using her word. She called it convenience, and so I'm gonna call it convenience because she called it convenience.
I'm gonna push back on Thea's on something though.
Go for it.
everything that you say may be absolutely correct. I'm agreeing with you. It is. The only point is nobody thinks that way going into a relationship.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. You are literally putting everything in such black and white that you really think, wait a minute. She's attractive. Let me pull out my handbook and try to read the instructions in the back. Nobody thinks that way. Things just
Who
happen.
said that they do?
Oh,
I'm talking about what drives you.
yeah.
What drives
That's
you
the
is-
initial, and then you get to know the person. Attraction is where it all
spontaneity.
starts.
What drives you is just it's something that is surprisingly enough, and I'll use myself as an example. What drives you changes so quickly. You don't know what drives you until you meet the right person, and you don't even know who the right person is until you meet them. Let me break it down for you. I'm gonna break it down for you.
Wow.
Here's why I said what I said. Growing up, all my teenage years, all in my 20s, you couldn't tell me I am not getting married. There is not a chance I'm getting married. You can forget it. It is not happening. It's the last. I do not want to be the person that sees the last face that I see at night and the first.
But didn't I preface this at en masse, bro?
Uh-huh,
He
you
did. I'm
did.
gonna have
You
to say
did.
that. Yeah, he
Say
did.
what?
Marlon.
Individually, we got all kinds of stuff, flavors and variations. But as a whole, we're driven by certain impulses.
I was driven
It's
by
hardwired.
had a smile when I was in my 20s. That was what I was driven by. I didn't know
Okay.
but as time went on, then it did kind of change. Like I wasn't even going to date anybody who had more than 2 kids. Period. I did not want to be
These are
bothered.
different things.
Can
What?
I finish?
Completely different
Why are
conversations.
you all
They're
in this
valid.
field?
Completely
Can
different
I
conversations.
literally finish exactly what I'm saying so I can get to the point?
Well, it's
He
taking
waiting.
you a while.
I can break everything that you say up and then go, that don't make any sense. Let me finish. So me going from there is no way that I'm going to get married all the way up to, and I'm not going to date anybody who has more than 2 kids. And then I met Foxy, who literally broke everything that I had. I went from not only getting married to marry somebody who had 4, brought in another kid, and that winds up being 5. And I don't want to sit there and say that everything, none of what you said is incorrect. What I'm saying is time and things correlates within what you are saying. It's not just all black and white. You don't
Didn't say
know
that.
what you're attracted to. You don't know what is.
Love, you're talking about 2 different
Yeah,
things
you're
here.
talking about 2 different. You're talking about something totally different than what these is
Well,
talking.
okay,
Yeah.
we're talking about 2 different
You're
things.
you're layering onto it. Like you're
Yeah.
coming at it from the standpoint of how we decide what relationship we go into, what we're interested in versus not interested in. That's top of brain. I'm talking about what drives us. I'm talking
The
about the
instinct.
magnetic part, the
Yeah.
instinct. Thank you. That's what I was talking. That's why I said en masse. Like individually, when you bring it down to a decision matrix, then you get to where I am pretty, and I just can't see me working in the normal sense. I deserve to be taken care of. This is the type of man who can take care of me. I will go find that man that suits me, and we'll make that exchange. That's a top of brain thing, right? But I'm saying, as far as what drives us, the equation didn't change, right? What drives us is still what are we going to be extracting from this relationship? And
Marlon, you can
right.
tell yourself all day long that these are the things that you want, and these are the things that you're going to look for. But what drives us, we have no control over that. We have so much that the brain processes and makes a yes or no determination so quickly, and that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about us thinking all of our lives, I want somebody who has a certain number of kids. You hear the
I think where
difference?
Marlon was coming from was he was taking what he thinks he knows of how I process relationships. And that wasn't the argument I was making. That's what I'm saying. What you're saying is it makes sense. It just wasn't what I was talking about. Like
Right.
me, I got all kinds of factors. You know me, I got an endless file.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
does he
We know.
know the
but
last
that's the
names of these
filter.
women? No.
If he knows your
No,
last name, he
but
knows
that's
you.
the filter that I designed and laid on top of things, saying that you know. But my body, that's why one of the things I've said in the past. You
Right.
got to be careful who you keep company with,
Sure
because
do.
if you are around someone, you can fall in love with anyone under the right circumstances,
Sure
because
can.
you will begin to see them a different way, or you might have a certain connection, all kinds of things. And here you are now in a deep relationship that you couldn't imagine being with anybody else, but that person don't fit none of the rules you said, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's two things happening at the same time.
Right. They do happen. It's just he was talking about one process where we don't have any control over it.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna move on because now I refuse to get clowned on my own doggone show.
We're not
So
Ain't
clowning
nobody.
you.
We're not
I'm
trying to. We're trying to be
okay. Oh,
very
it's Christmas. Relax. I'm
clear.
joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
Joking. Sheesh.
It's Christmas
See, this is why I
all around the
put
Christmas
music
tree.
on. Listen, this is why I put stuff on to relax. I joke. The year is almost over. I'm joking. I don't even think. Well, I ain't about to say I don't think I can get upset because woo work. But my point is, I'm joking. Just relax. I don't even know what that means. Give me the red pill. I can't remember what the Matrix and the blue and red pill
Yeah, I
mean.
don't know which one's red and which one's blue.
I couldn't remember which one did what. The Matrix has been like, is we on 20 years now? It got to be that long.
It's got to be more, I believe.
Probably more.
Probably the longest. I
Because
think it
Keanu
came out in
Reeves
the
couldn't
late
act
'90s.
then. He sure can't act now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he found a perfect series for his non-acting behind.
I know.
That John Wick thing.
Yeah,
He
just
keep getting
Don't
over
talk,
like,
just fight.
don't you ever play,
don't say nothing, just hit people.
don't you ever play Batman ever again.
Keanu Reeves never played Batman, did he?
Keanu
Really?
Reeves never played Batman.
I don't think Keanu Reeves played Batman.
Christian Bale played Batman, but not
Yeah,
Keanu
Ben
Reeves.
Affleck played Batman.
Oh no!
Go back and look it up. We had a string of different Batmans for a while then, and one of them was Keanu Reeves.
I
Really?
don't remember that.
Must have blocked it out of our brain.
I mean, I read Black George Clooney. I mean, that was bad enough.
George Clooney makes a better Bruce Wayne. That makes more sense. But then again, that's why I said about Christian Bale made a better Batman and he made a Bruce Wayne.
So it says
Wait a minute. He did a voiceover.
2022.
Yeah, this article's from two. Oh, you must be looking at the same one I'm looking at. It says he's slated to play.
It's a video game, I think.
No.
He's doing a voiceover.
Yeah.
Voiceover? I thought he actually did one of them.
No, he has never repeated. Nah.
He voices Batman in DC League of Super Pets.
After what's the name left, they had a slew of Batmans that was coming over. I just slated them in there like, okay, I guess
you must be getting that confused with the Flash, where they have like George Clooney and a whole bunch. Ben Affleck was in it as Batman, and blah 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 blah.
But he got no business ever being Batman. He don't even look. They got like a mock-up of him with a Batman mask on, and it looks horrible.
Who?
Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, sir. No, sir.
I haven't seen.
You did amazing things coming from Bill and Ted, but no, sir.
You have never seen the Matrix, Parker?
I've never seen the Matrix.
Wow, really, baby boy?
I don't know what it's about. I've never seen
Watch the first two.
Really?
The first two are great. That last thing, horrible.
First two of any trilogy. There is only one movie trilogy that was good, and that was the Bourne movies. Literally, out of my lifetime,
I didn't like the first or the
Bourne
second.
movies is the only trilogy that had 3 good movies.
That's not true.
Everybody else,
Not
even
true.
about
Star Wars.
Shrek.
I've never seen Star Wars, and no, not Shrek at all. Not a chance.
Shrek
You never
1
seen
and 2
Star
and 3
Wars.
was
You've
good.
never seen Star Wars?
I understand the concept of it. I don't watch.
Wait a minute.
space
Now,
movies.
me who doesn't even go to
I don't
movies
watch
has seen
space
Star Wars.
movies. I don't. No.
Really? Wow.
Okay.
I've never seen Friday, but a whole
Except
bunch of other
Baseballs,
people
but-
haven't seen Friday. But
No.
and I've never seen Love and Basketball either. Yes,
But
I
you've
have.
seen Spaceballs.
I've seen Spaceballs one time, and
He couldn't appreciate Spaceballs the way he needed to then.
Right.
Yes, I did. Because
Oh.
There's a whole nother level then if you ain't never watched Star Wars.
There is.
Yeah, because if you've never watched Star Wars, you can't appreciate Spaceballs because they were spoofing Star Wars.
Yeah.
They were literally spoofing Star Wars, though, Marlon.
Yes, and Star Wars by that time they have told you all the most intimate details, all the most cast, all the most details of it by the time Spaceballs came up. Yes, even though I've never seen the movie, kind of got the concept of it because they.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
But you can't appreciate Star Wars.
There's still a different layer
once you see the
level.
movie, you gotta see that movie first, and then Spaceballs. You're like, oh, I get it.
I'm gonna pull a
It's like appreciating Belle Biv DeVoe, and you never like New Edition.
There's no way in the world I'm gonna go and look at Star Wars to get a better concept of Spaceballs.
No, I'm not saying go backwards. I'm just saying it's different.
I got it. It still makes
It's
laugh.
just a different layer.
And by
Have
the way,
you seen
Onions have
Indiana
layers.
Jones?
Movies have layers.
And George Clooney, I don't know which one's the worst Batman, George Clooney or Ben Affleck. I'm just like,
Ben Affleck.
wait a minute, Cornel West was in the second Matrix movie? What?
Yeah, he might have been.
What?
He might
Really?
have been.
Well, now you done give me a reason to go watch it, because now I'm like, okay, really?
Yeah, May the Swartz be with you. I get that concept. Never saw Star Wars.
Okay.
Wow.
Cornel West played
Counselor West and
Counselor West in the second and third Matrix. I can believe it. I literally
Second
I honestly
and
literally
third?
can believe it.
Little quick cameo. Do you mind?
Oh, man. Okay. Absolutely.
Real or not?
You know, the more I study his never mind.
Okay, last week I tried to go back to the traditional real or not. Is this a real? Is it not? In this, it may still be traditional, but it's also one of the new versions of real or not that I invented. God, I hope this is fake, because if it's not, something's wrong with you. So it could either or. It could be in both categories. Like, come on, Marlon. Nobody is this crazy. Come on. Or it literally could be, yeah, that's true, and they stupid and everything else. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wife leaves babies during a burglary.
I'm 34, male. My wife, who's 42, is a stay-at-home mom. Last week when I was at work and our two eldest were at school, who are 5 and 3, my wife was sitting in the dining room table when she saw a man walking down the driveway and going to the front door. He had what she thought was a hammer. She went to the front door and the guy was trying to get in. The guy saw her and waved and tried to get in. She fled the house and ran out the back door. She left her cell phone and Apple Watch. She also left our twin daughters, who are 8 months old. They were sleeping in their cribs. She ran through the neighborhood looking for someone to help her call the police. Eventually, she found someone and they called the police. The police responded and cleared the house. It turns out it was just a repair guy who was supposed to be going to our neighbor's house, and he had been told that no one would be home and to just come on in. She's mad at me for not being more supportive of her. I was stunned when she told me, and I was surprised that she said she just left our girls there. She's always yelling at me about how I don't do enough for the kids, unlike her who sacrifices constantly. I don't think this is accurate, but it's besides the point. We've been having major issues in our marriage for a long time apart from this. She's acting like this is one of the worst things that's ever happened to her, which is making me madder and madder. I'm having a real hard time putting this one behind me. If this guy had been a bad guy, she would have abandoned our kids and just left so she could save herself. Our house isn't that big, and people in the neighborhood and online know that we have kids. I honestly don't know what to do. Edit. This happened about a week ago. I spent an hour on the phone with her that day trying to console her. I tried again that night, and I've been trying to take care of the kids and do all the chores at home. She's been focusing on what I think is a work-from-home job, but that she's lying to me about it and trying to hide it from me. Other than that, she's going out with her friends to bars. She does not believe in therapy and is refusing to go to marriage counseling that I set up for us online after the kids go to sleep. A big issue I'm having is the double standard that if I had done this, she would have never forgiven me and probably divorced me.
Oh, you left off the rest of it. I was trying to read it. I was like, it.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with nah. But here's the thing. You don't know how somebody's gonna react in a fight or flight situation, especially with an untrained person. So there's that. But the story just doesn't make any damn sense. Like, especially the end of it, like when did he run out of funding for his script? Because it got bad, you know. She's lying about having a work from home job and going to the bar. What? How do you fake a work from home job, and then what does that have to do with going to? Look, if it's real, which I don't think it is, if it's real, y'all need to go ahead and find a way to chalk this one up and let it go. Not because of the first part. Because the first part, buddy, you should be able to work through that with her if she was a competent individual. Because, yeah, something could have happened, but nothing did happen. So you can work through that. That last part of the story where she lying about having a job and going out at night with her friend, that's the deal breaker for me. Like, that's a whole nother story there. So yeah, that's how I take it. But the whole story, no.
I don't know if I can get past the first with these. I'm sorry. I just don't. I just can't see I can't get over. Okay, you left the fight or flight. That it's a real thing.
It's real.
Don't know what you would do during that situation. The only problem that I'm having is, but you left all communications. Like, let's face the facts. We are not so away from our phones. We look down at our phones darn near. What's the average now? Every 45 seconds, we're looking on our phones. So even in a fight or flight, it's just mandatory. It's DNA at this point that we grab the phone. We always grab our cell phone.
No.
Because here's why I'm gonna push back. Here's why I'll push back. Okay. All right. So, would you agree that your children are more important to you than your phone?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So, in this scenario, as you were laying it out, the part of what you raised was we are always within hand reach of our phone. Mm-hmm. If she gonna run out the house, how does she run out the house and don't even take her phone? And the same way she run out the house and then take them kids. Have you ever misplaced your phone?
Yes.
And lost my
entire mind.
You may have, but was there somebody you thought was gonna hurt you chasing you at the time of having? That's the other thing. But what I'm saying is we misplace our phones, all types of things happen. And then I think another thing that's really worth layering in, which is where it could be a little harder for me and you. I don't know. I can't speak for the ladies. I can't speak for you either, but I'm just saying our role in the household is protector. So if something is going to happen, my mind is always function on this level. I'm already keyed up for it. I go towards whatever the issue is.
Yeah.
My wife, that's not how she is keyed up. So her fight or flight reaction is going to be vastly different from mine. Because hopefully she go grab the kids or whatever, but I just find it hard to judge a fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Now, if something happened to my children because you freaked out and ran, well, then we got a problem, right? Because I'm coming for your throat at that point. But nothing did ultimately happen. This is a teachable, workable moment, right? Do I need to get my wife some self-defense classes? Do we need to make sure we have the right type of home security so she feels more secure? Like all these different things we can do on that end of the scale. Like I said, for me, and this is just me, where she lost me is the second half of the story. That's where she's
I don't believe
I
any.
think with the knowledge, I'll get to you, Tracy. I think with the knowledge of knowing that Foxy is one of the oh, it's the second hour. I've always told Foxy, you the Billy Badass of this family. Like you ready to throw down if anybody say anything about the family, you ready to go and blow and everything else and blah blah blah. One of the weekends that we took off for the show in October, we went through and other things such as Foxy, why do you go to that neighborhood? That's a bad neighborhood, and you always seem to want to go through it at night. I ain't scared. Ain't nobody gonna change my schedule. I got to do what I got. Okay, cool. Whatever. So one of the things that we did in October was we went through a Halloween, a haunted trail.
Right, you said that.
And this, I kept looking at this woman in the back of my head going, you would have been dead in my hood like 1,500 times because you hear a noise and you freeze. And I'm just looking at you like, can you keep walking? What are you doing? Keep
That's
walking.
part of the point.
I know,
That's a
but I'm
different
just saying,
situation, though.
keep going. Ah! Oh my, Foxy, if you stop one more time, you're getting drugged through the rest of this doggone thing. Let's go. Let's go.
Part of the fun for people who enjoy such things, I can't relate to this. What I'm about to say, I
They
cannot
like to be
relate to
scared.
at all. But yes, they like
Yes,
that,
I enjoy
right?
things
So
like that. I'm like,
they
yeah,
feed into it, like, oh yeah, like. But in a real life situation, they would have avoided the situation altogether. But this is an opportunity to go and be scared, and like the people who go to watch them really like. I don't like scary movies at all.
The
I don't
gory
like them at all.
movies, yeah.
But like the ones where the child is the evil character, I can't deal with that.
No.
I already told y'all my story about I can't watch horror movies because I think they're the stupidest individuals on the planet to
really.
keep constantly putting yourself. Oh, that's a nice house. Is it haunted? Yes, we'll take it. I can't stand you
Yeah, let's
people,
all
and
move
whatever
in. Move the
happens
whole
to you
family.
happens to you. I'm so
Let's
sick
go
of
to that
y'all.
same lake where they were murdered at last year. Sure.
And you never caught it, Tracy.
All I'm saying
you did catch the
is,
killer. And you
but all I'm saying is,
what do you?
if that man had never bought that haunted house, then his daughter never would have made friends with Casper. And if that family didn't buy that haunted house, Beetlejuice never would have had an opportunity to become part of the family.
You got the one friendly ghost in history.
Yeah, too.
I brought up Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice wasn't nice.
At the end, he ended up being part of the family. He got at the end he got sent to the purgatory. But then they had a cartoon spinoff where Lydia and Beetlejuice were best friends.
Because you literally have to make the Beetlejuice cartoon when he. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, sorry, Tracy. Go ahead, Tracy.
This story is fake from the jump. Who tells a service person, yeah, just come on in the house? That's when I was like, this mess is fake. I don't know whether they watch One Life to Live, Guiding Light, Dallas or Falcon Crest or wherever they getting their stories from, but this just had from jump. You don't tell a service person, yeah, just come into the house. Sure, just come right on in. You don't have to knock. How was he going to get in if he didn't knock? You had no sense to say, hey, my wife and 2 children are in there, so why don't we just, I don't know, knock? Did this person have a key? He overreacted by saying, she could have got the babies. Could you care more about yourself than the baby? He like jumped to all kind of stupid conclusions because she ran out. You don't know, like Thea said, you don't know how anybody would react. You would think you would take your children, but flight or fight is different for every person. Some people like me, we gonna stand there and fight. Other people gonna run like Jesse Owens. It just depends. Second problem I had was with her. What type of what she's sitting there talking about the sacrifices she makes, never named any. This story is so fake. It's so unbelievably, but there are more holes in this than a slice of Swiss cheese. I don't know how.
I like Swiss cheese.
I mean, it's just, this can't possibly be true. He just literally says, you don't care about the children because you didn't take them out the house. How about you tell her that, hey, a service person is coming over today. Be sure to open the door for them. I don't know. Makes sense to me.
Anna?
Yeah, she's saying nah too. Nobody believes this because it's crap. They got this off of One Life to Live. No, they got this off of Beverly Hills 90210. That's where they got it from.
All right, let's move on to
You're right. You.
It don't even sting no more.
Sure don't.
He's hurting my trust.
I feel flattered that I ever actually had it. Let's go ahead and move on to the second part of this story, so maybe this will make more sense.
We had a fight because when we moved to a new house, my side of the bed was on the far side from the door, and that I needed to be able to stop an attacker. I've been yelled at for abandoning them when I take a shower in the morning before work and they start crying, or if she's sleeping in and one begins crying while I'm changing the other, and it takes me a minute to finish. I totally understand this is a fight or flight, and I'm not trying to Monday morning quarterback. I have not critiqued, let alone criticized her. The closest was when I was surprised when she told me she had left the girls. Other than that call, or when I came home and she was annoyed that we don't have security cameras, we haven't really talked about it. Update. Long story short, things are not going well. I feel like I'm an airplane pilot who's trying to land a plane while it's disintegrating around me, and that the time is now for me to bail out. Since the last post, I've tried really hard to support her. I think I've been doing what I can to support her in the past. Anytime she wants to leave, she can. I do the lion's share of the chores at home. That means laundry, cooking, groceries, and morning and bedtime routine for the boys. We do an informal system for the dishes and the daughters. It's close to 50-50 on that. I also pay all the bills and handle all the extracurriculars. One comment that people made was that she just gave birth 8 months ago and that I should be more sympathetic. I totally get that, but since she gave birth, she has done 4 10K races, a marathon relay, and goes to a run group and dinner afterwards twice a week. She has also gone to networking events for her business that she's working on. Since that post, we've had numerous issues. We've had more days with screaming matches, and here's a list of some of the issues we've had. She woke up early on Saturday, but didn't wake me or my son up for his early practice. I slept through my alarm. Didn't do anything to help us get ready. Her only question when we came back was how late were we? The moment I came home, she went back to bed. I had all 4 kids by myself, which is fine. I took the kids to the store to run errands. As soon as I came back in, she got in a shower and left, and refused to take any kids despite their cries. She refused to tell us where she was going.
And wait, there's more because there was another sentence coming up that you didn't give us time to read.
No, that was the comments that was coming afterwards. So no, that's
He sure does he sure is petty. If this is real, which I still say it's not, he's petty.
How's he petty? She's like she's cheating on him.
I don't think she's cheating on him. I just think she's irrelevant. She's not into this marriage.
He's up there keeping lists. Well, she didn't wake me up. Well, set
If
your
you're
fucking alarm.
living the list, you're gonna remember the list. That's not petty.
Eddie.
And if you're heading towards divorce, you definitely have a list.
Okay, let me go ahead and sum this up real quick then, Tracy. Because I even said this to Foxy. We're getting a divorce, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why we're getting a divorce. You absolutely add no value whatsoever to this marriage. None.
Got that part I agree with.
None. You don't pay any bills. You barely take care of the kids, and the only time that you take care of the kids is because I'm not here. As soon as I get here, you leave. You do not do any chores. Let me explain that part. If I'm doing all the chores and then we're going to divvy up the one chore, which is washing dishes, sweetie, you have no value whatsoever in this marriage.
That's foul. I don't know about that one, dog.
No, you have no value whatsoever. You have given no value whatsoever in this marriage at all. On top of that, let me go one step further. I dare you to sit here and say, oh, well, if you do so, then I'm going to take the kids. I give you a month before you hand the kids back over to me. You don't even want to be a mother.
Now, I'm not going to go that
far. You are gone. You love the convenience of everything that's surrounding you. You're not, at this point in time, I'm not going to put words in her mouth or in her head. I'm just going by her actions. You're not being a mother, you're being a babysitter. Because as soon as I get home, you leave? Like, the hell? Like, you're just there to make sure the house ain't burnt down or the kids don't starve to death. As soon as I get home, okay, I'm out. Going back to bed, going out with my friends. See ya. See you when I get back. Like, you give no value whatsoever to this marriage whatsoever. If I'm doing everything, I can do everything without you because, and that's not being arrogant, it's being realistic to say, because I've been doing it all this time anyway. You're just in the house. So if you're not here, cool. One less mouth for me to feed. I'll figure everything out anyway, including replacing you with a babysitter. No, not a chance. This has nothing to do with the fight or flight situation. The second part of this video is I need somebody that's in this with me. You have been gone. And since you're gone, let's make it official. But no, I'm not gonna waste my time.
And this is a prime example of how we get to the same place, but follow completely different paths to get there.
Yep.
Well, nobody says she's wife of the year.
Excuse me.
He's still petty.
Well, I think they're headed towards a divorce. So at that point, you know, because I know when I was at that point going through that for me, yeah, there's a list. Like you start keeping a list, which is really when you know it's about over, right? When you are keeping track of what someone is or ain't doing.
Too loudly. He snacked his food.
No, Tracy.
No, it's not that, but like definitely when you start keeping track like that. But I was just gonna say, yeah, they need to get a divorce just because they don't have a functional marriage. Where I don't ride with, because I think they don't have a functional marriage because I think she's cheating.
Wow.
But I'm just saying, if I come home, you hop in the shower and then you dip about the house.
But she's starting a business.
She got a work from home business. What are you talking about? So I come home, you hop in the shower, you disappear. You're always out with your friends going clubbing, and you got kids, right? So for me, don't create questions where questions don't currently exist. And this is just a recipe for making the other person feel like they don't know what's going on in the relationship. So just call it a day. That's what I'm saying. We end up at the same place. You know, the marriage is not healthy or good. Yeah, so that's where we would land. But like where I detract, one of the ways I detract from what you were saying, Marlon, is I don't think that relationships are so transactional. Um, so there is a strong case. You don't do any chores, and I pay all the bills. Okay, well, me paying all the bills was an agreement we had anyway because I make the most money, and you work from home to take care of the kids, and you are at home taking care of the kids. So that washes out. Like you're doing what you're supposed to do, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Where I agreed with you though is these two don't seem to have anything going on between each other. But you were placing it, or in your explanation anyway, you were placing it as I gotta do all the chores, I gotta pay all the bills, and I gotta take care of the kids. What do I need you for? And I'm like, there's another layer to this, another level to this relationship, which is the marriage part. Were you there for me when I'm sick? Are you there for me? Do you know my fears? Are you there to make me feel comfortable? There's all these things which to me would be what would drive a divorce. Right?
Yeah.
You
Do you
not
play?
being transactionally active will piss me off and will lead us towards this next part. But what will actually be the undoing? Oh, here's the saying that I learned with my first divorce, with my first marriage. Only had one. Uh,
First
if your reason for staying together isn't each other, your reason for leaving will be.
Yep. Now that's true.
Here's the only thing that I push back on is it's not even a pushback. I don't want it to sound like what I said was transactional. I agree with you on that. It was transactional. What I was trying to get to was when I come home and the family unit is together, I would rather you say, "Oh, Daddy's home, my husband's home. Let's get the kids down. Let's play with the kids together. You do this and I do this and everything else. We work as a unit since you are now home." I agree with you. You have been home all day and taking care of the kids. Now, I would, and this is how I would explain myself. The same way I'm getting on this woman, the same thing I would get on the man. If you come home and lay on your butt and look at TV and all you want is dinner on the table and everything else, and everybody leave me alone, you just as bad as what I just said about the wife. No, bruh, this ain't it. That ain't that. No, you got a job to do too. You got a family. Figure it out.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like and this has just hit me. So they aren't properly balanced, okay? Which is why I say they need to go their own separate ways. But because she's not even interested in counseling, so there's only so much you can do, right? At a certain point. But there is something to be said about these are 4 children, 2 of which are under the age of 1.
Yep.
Her ass tired. Okay, so when you come home, you've been away working. Here we go. You've been away working for the last 10 hours, and you're tired from doing your job, justifiably so. She has been at home working her job for 10 hours. Now her ass tired too.
Yeah.
One of the big differences is, you missed out while you have to go to work and deal with all the stuff at the office. You're missing out on quality time with your children. Right? We all paint ourselves as the victim and everything. I'm missing out on my time with the children. You get to play with them and see them grow and see their first steps and all the little wonderful things. I miss all of that, because I have to go to the office, right? So you say that shit, but that means she's got 10 hours, no adult conversation.
You miss all the tears. You miss all the tantrums.
Right? She is isolated by herself. When you're at work, you got coworkers. You can get them to go to the break room. All it.
Yep.
Not saying your job ain't hard. I'm just saying that we have 2 different views of reality at the time. So when you come home, oftentimes the person who stays at home, the person who comes home from work, is like, why won't you stop talking to me? Give me 20 minutes to calm down from being at work, and then I'll talk to you. But the other person's like, I'm the star for a conversation
Yeah, I
all
want to talk
day.
to an adult. I want to talk to
So
an
what?
adult.
So what they may have needed to do is, all right, let's work this out. Obviously, you want to work. Okay. So, and obviously, I make enough money that I can pay all the bills. So, how about we do this? You go get a job. I will pay for a nanny.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, we just kind of fixed it, didn't we?
Or
Because
daycare.
somebody's going to have to back down or buy in. It's the only way you can do it.
And this is what I was going to say, but LL put it. She's always at work, which is true.
Thank
The first
you.
part that you saying, but then this is what I was saying. Of course, she's always ready to bounce, and that's what I was saying. If you're tired, okay, cool. I get what you saying. Boy, when he walks through that door, you find that energy really quick, though, don't you? To run triathlon, marathons, or whatever he said. I couldn't remember what the word he said. Marathons and everything else. Which, by the way, it's not like, oh, I just decided I want to go and do stuff. No, you go to training. You have to train for a marathon. This ain't no, I just decided to wake up one morning and run miles. You train for a marathon, so you have energy for that. You go out with the girls. You go out with the marathon meeting group or whatever you want to call them. You have the energy to do that as soon as he gets home. So,
I don't get that part because I'm
what
like,
are you not missing? If you've been at home, and I'm going by your argument, you've been at home with the kids for 10 hours. I would literally understand the concept of you and a business, because let's not forget, you're at home with the kids and you try to start a business. You've been home all this time with the kids for 10 hours. You are tired. By my concept of thinking is when my woman, let me say I stay at home husband. My woman is home. I now have help to take the pressure off of me of dealing with 4 kids. So I'm not running around. I can take a breather.
Unless some people tell her she's
yeah,
supposed
Her
to be.
concept of it is, no, I'm finna go train for 3 marathons and go hang out with the girls as soon as you walk through the door.
I think you're kind of being unfair here. And like I said, we still come to the same place as
Yeah,
far as like where this marriage is landing. But it's like if the concern is would it be better if she waited 30 minutes? Would it be better if she waited an hour? I mean, like at what point is it okay for her to say tag you're in and go do like we're on podcasts for 2-3 hours multiple times a week. You know, that means our other halves are out doing other things. They're going to sleep without us, or they're taking care of the kids without us, or they're finding other things to do without us. So it's like I think it's a little unfair to make it purely transactional in that respect, because what if her group meets at 5:30, but he gets home at 5:15? So out the door, like there are ways to explain this where she's not a villain, she's just not the right match for you for what
him.
your expectations are for your relationship, right? So everything can be dictated on what we want as men, right? I mean,
I thought you said
I just
I thought you said such a bad word that YouTube muted you. I was like,
I was
dang,
gonna
no,
say.
it's my headphones are dying.
dang,
Oh,
YouTube, what did he say?
Yeah, no, I was just saying that like the thing about it is like we have a tendency, there's the only way we can be is who we are, but we're men. So part of what I was hearing in your discussion, and if someone's listening to mine, they'll probably hear the same thing from me. We're couching this in what serves us. So He gets home from work and she immediately leaves. Was one of the things that was raised. Okay, why can't he open his mouth and have a conversation and say, hey, you know, wait an hour? And then the other thing you did raise when you were talking earlier, you were like, well, when I come home, then I want us to have family time and we can play with the kids together and do things together as a family.
Yeah.
That's what you want. She
And
wants to
be
get the hell
talking.
away from these kids.
And I guess I'll meet you halfway then. And the funny thing about it, the majority of these conversations is no communication. I ain't even gonna say miscommunication, no communication. I'll go with Tracy. I'm not going with the petty thing that she was saying, but when you do not communicate with each other, the list, what Tracy was saying, it does build up. You do write down things and write down things and write down things. So, OP, this is what I'm going to get on you, and then I'm going to give it to Anna. It's great and wonderful that you write down a list, but, bruh, you're the only one that has the list. So when are you going to pull up your big boy pants and share what your concerns are in this marriage that you're in?
He doesn't want to. He wants a divorce.
And he may do. But if you're divorcing over because you didn't say anything about it, you're not completely out of the wrong on this. You're not. If you communicated this and she's like, nah, I'm still out, then I get you. But if you want a divorce and it's like, why? Well, here's the list. How long you've had that list? For the last 2 years.
They never said nothing about it.
Look.
Never said
You
this
really
bothers me.
want me to argue about the last 2 years? Really? You want me to argue the last 2 years of our marriage? You serious? So anyway, Anna, what you got?
Huh?
Okay, real or nah?
I'm still inclined to say no. Just once again, yes, the situation could happen in many different ways. Something about this particular story seemed off.
Everything. Just come on
It's like
in.
3 stories.
No key, no nothing. Just, didn't even tell us right the serviceman was coming up. Really? Really? You really gonna do that? You gonna just not tell her anything?
All right, we got 3 nods, and I don't give a damn.
Hey, but real quick before you hit the button, think about this, Tracy, what you just said about like he's holding against her that she ran out the house without the kids, right?
Right.
What he's not taking ownership of is why the hell did you send somebody into your house with your wife and small children unannounced?
Thank you. And then tell him to come right on in.
Well, y'all missed that part of it. And it's not going to help my argument. I'm just.
He said he was wrong or something. But
said that no, the neighbor said that they wasn't going to be home and go to the next door.
He still could have told her.
Which again doesn't make my argument any better because what neighbor is going to say? Yeah, go to the next door neighbor and walk on in. So
yeah, just walk in. I don't live there or nothing, but you know what? They don't care. What?
So, okay, we got 3 nods and who gives a damn? Mafia video of the week. Just like this story and other stories that we have listened to, everybody is not made for everybody. There are going to be some good times at the beginning and it just ends, and it is what it is. People in your life falls into 3 categories. They're there for a reason, they're there for a season, and they're there for a lifetime. And certain categories can break down at and change at any time. When things come to an end, or this ain't for you anymore, just move on. It is what it is. So
You
this
almost sound like me over there.
I know, scared the hell out of me when I was
Almost.
scared the hell out of me when I was saying it. So this next video is you breaking up with dignity. Come to a final conclusion and just move on. So this next video is, instructions on breaking up with dignity.
Bitch, I don't play. I'm petty and I'm known to throw shade. Hating ho, please just go. Don't get cute, just walk away. Girl, bye, bitch, listen, fuck you. Bitch, listen, fuck you. You get lost, boo-boo. Bitter flea, spilling tea. Why are you so obsessed with me? Spread your lies, please go on and try. We both know you should just have a seat. Goodbye, bitch, listen, fuck you. Bitch, listen, fuck you.
She had a really beautiful singing voice.
She did.
I mean,
She did that shit for herself. Because if that was me, you breaking up with 3 seconds in, I don't know what the hell you saying. Because I already clicked. Like,
some people can't
soon as
let
I
go.
hit the button, soon as I hit the button to hit play, and your ass starts singing, beep, I don't even know what happened. Hey, we good. I don't like petty. Petty ain't fun. Petty ain't cute.
I mean, she's
And
better
that was
than
long.
she was better than
Beautiful voice.
chit chat, chatterwag.
Beautiful voice. Too damn long. I mean, it would have been over. But I'm also the one that I break up with you. We never even had a fight. Like, this is like, I told you why we break up. Then that thing happened. So guess what? We broke up. And I wish you the best. And
yes, you could tell somebody why you broke up with them,
and they'll still be like, "But why we
I
couldn't work
have
it
a
out?"
real strange feeling that some of them is gonna look at you like, dude, you lied. What's the real reason? Because one of the things you did say was, I just don't like the color of the hair that you paint. And they're really gonna look at you like, I'm sorry, really, what's your real reason why breaking up with me? No, I'm serious. I just didn't like what you colored your hair.
okay. I'm missing. What's the question?
What? There was no question. There is really no question. I just can't see nobody believing you breaking up with them because they colored their hair. That's not.
That's just it. There's two people in this relationship thing. And so what you believe is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like your feelings and your beliefs and all of that stuff, that matters when we're together. See, now that we're breaking up,
Doesn't
I
matter
don't
anymore.
care what you believe,
Yep.
what you accept, anything like that. The decision's made. Like, because I think that's where a lot of issues come in because people will start to break up because they don't really want to break up. They just think they should break up. So then they, based on the other person's reaction and all that, they back down and all. I think that's unfair. It's cruel. It's just messy. Hey, told you I don't like such and such. I am not here to change you. I want you to continue to be you, be great, and
Oh,
I'm
don't
gone.
pull the we. I hope we can be friends one.
Nope, I
Don't
don't
do
do that. I
that.
don't know you.
Oh
I
no.
don't know you. We're good. We are good.
No, that
Do
friend thing
you?
don't work. No.
I never pulled that. I'm like, look, it's over. It's done. I don't want to
Yeah.
be your friend.
I think of all my exes, I am friendly with one, and that's only because that's my ex-wife. You know what I'm saying? Like everything, because I have a very, very firm belief that says my current should never have to be compromised by my former. So when we break up, I don't know you. Go with God, Todd, or whoever you need to be with. Just
And
go.
I really don't like the color.
Parker said in Whitley's voice, and I really don't like the color of your hair.
But it's not. But I mean, yeah, it's the color of the hair I don't like. But really, it's just that I'm not attracted to you like that. I don't like this look.
Hmm.
Who, dude? That was one of yours. You found that. You had to, because there
That was a Marlon special. He went and found
had to
that thing.
be.
No,
And it was the whole song.
Parker did say who found that. That was me. That was me. That was mine.
But yet y'all sit here and talk bad about chit chat chatterwet.
Because it was
No, that was
stupid.
bad. Tracy, that was bad.
Stupid. That was terrible.
She actually
That
had a
was
halfway
bad.
decent singing voice. It's just the words that
did.
were coming out of her mouth.
She
was
did.
just like I
No,
said
She was
halfway.
talk singing. She was talk singing, and the child was traumatized.
Yeah, that child was traumatized. She was like, I'm like that poor child.
She did have a decent voice, but and let me put it to you this way: having a decent voice don't make the song better.
That's my point.
It's just it was okay. This is
I do
terrible.
agree with this though. This one, I'm like, girl, get to the. We got it. You're breaking up. We got it.
And see, I don't even think that she really want to break up. I bet if he got that stupid ass song and said the right thing, they'd be back together. Because why she put that much effort into it?
Chit chat chatter was better.
Nah, Parker. Even I'm like, no, it was funnier. It was funnier, but not better.
The service is selling. No, I'm sorry, I even put that stupid thing up.
Yeah, that was Marlon. You don't you blame that on me?
I'm not. I absolutely not.
Service and selling was terrible, but the rapping granny was still the best. Linda Paulson or whatever her name was.
Linda Paulson, yep. A name that will live on in infamy.
She's got to be in the countdown. Linda Paulson must be in the countdown. I don't know how.
I can't even find her no more, but I'll give it
Oh,
a try.
I'll find her. Oh, I
a
got
bad
her.
person. Well, wait, her politics are probably
Her
terrible.
politics are terrible.
But she, it was a cute, weird video.
If you just look at her, be like, "Oh, she's a sweet grandmother." Until you,
It was so funny because at the time when I kept watching it, at that point, Anna was like, "Nope, I'm out. I can't do this no more. I can't even watch her." No more.
I told you, play her one more time and I'm out. And you did.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, she looks like a sweet little grand. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, Foxy's video of the week. Okay, let me set this up. It can be pretty long what I'm going to set up, but let me go ahead and set it up real quick. If you had headphones in and you got it up sky high, you may want to turn it down. This video can get pretty loud. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I don't want nobody going, oh my God, I can't hear. I'm giving you a fair warning now to turn it down. Number two, if you want to know what type of music, band music, choirs, which is my best example of this, I love the slow build to music. Something that's so, when you listen to music at the beginning, it's so trivial. You don't pay attention to it. It just seems like the norm. But as the music goes on, it builds and builds and builds to one of the greatest endings you ever seen. Because
is that the Amadeus song?
More like
That's awesome.
something Rascopy from Queen.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, it's something
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I like choirs like
Both
that.
great
I like a very disciplined church choir. Those have always been my favorites.
Like Patty Whack.
No,
That's not
discipline. That's
not
has no discipline in it.
at all. That's the
Or the one where they were dancing on stage to Christian
not
music.
it at all. Not at all. No, at all. So again, I'm telling you, turn your volume down because this is a church. I mean, not a church. This is a college band. Number two, it literally has come down to being one of my favorite videos ever. The reason being is I want you to pay attention to a couple of things in this video. I want you to pay attention to the beginning. I want you to pay attention when you realize things have changed. Those are the two things. I want you to look at the crowd, just listen, but look at the crowd, and I want you to pay attention to when things change, because I'm telling you right now, when things change, it goes from that change to darn near outrageous, to the point where I really think that I'm going to go out of my way to start looking up more bands like this.
Okay.
Got it? All right, let's get into it. You can't make a trombone sing.
Come on in, ladies. Want to roll this with these guys?
Grambling, Howard, FAMU, Tuskegee. Those are the ones I know for a fact for places if you're looking, Marlon. HBCU bands, definitely. that the performing HBCU bands. And then like here locally in Atlanta, we have Battle of the Bands that come through. So bands from all across the country come in and they get down like that.
I'm jealous.
Southwest DeKalb High School, Cedar Grove High School. Shout you guys out. It's just amazing what these young people can do.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It brought me to tears.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Only reason being because I love when people are not paying attention. You saw when they started, everybody was sitting down. Okay, we just gonna go through
Suddenly.
Here we go with another beat. And when he hit a note that y'all wasn't expecting,
Mm.
They
and
paid
y'all
attention
look,
then.
okay, wait a minute. I ain't know that. And here's what I did was because I read through the comments. I like to read through all the comments through the video, and the fact that what they were saying was that's the first time they played that song. So nobody knew they was expecting to play that song. So when they played it, that's the first time they heard it too. And when you listen to it at the first time, it does sound like you in a high school,
Because you haven't picked up the beat yet.
No,
Yeah, when you don't know
it sounds like something. But when he started hitting notes that you ain't expect,
When he did the echoing, oh baby.
I bet you're paying attention now.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he took it from there. So
I was gonna say, if you're anywhere that they have a Battle of the Bands, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Really nothing
Destiny Child had some. Destiny's Child, a lot of their music does really good in marching bands. Like it's just crazy what they do.
it is the drums and the trombone. Surprisingly enough, me growing up, I thought it would be the trumpet. I have come from trombone, which I thought was the least, to be honest with you. I put the trombone with the tuba. I literally thought growing up it was the least. And then I started hearing some trombone players. It's just like, bruh, are you serious?
Look at fusion jazz or eclectic jazz, just like black jazz, right? It doesn't have to really be black, but I mean that's where you're gonna find it first, and then you'll find that there's a lot of different people who play jazz. But the trombone, the sousaphone, the trumpet, the saxophone. There's a reason why those are in the jazz bands. They can make them talk. It's literally like they're singing to you, in the hands of the right kind of performer.
By the way, is the end of the year worst person of the category show going to be next week or the week after? The week after.
And it'll be that grandmother who insisted that man was homeless.
That was
And
last
tried to
year.
abduct.
It can't be this. That was last year.
Over. And by the way, Tracy, that's the only freaking thing that he has. He brought that thing up. That thing been 3 years ago. That grandmother has traumatized you. It is sad. You need to get
I'm offended.
You are.
You don't tell me how to work through my trauma and when I got to get over something.
That one dude doing the solo was amazing. It was.
I still remember that bad child. What about that?
But he never aired it.
No, and I
was. The daycare baby? I think he did. Oh, that was on your show. That's right.
That was on my Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not showing no bad child.
She wasn't bad. She didn't learn that behavior just by the ear. Somebody did it. She picked it up, which is what children do.
So I'm not going to produce bad parenting.
You mean promote?
Or promote bad parenting. So whichever way.
Meanwhile, I do know this was on Marlon's channel where he did the Scarface acted out by children.
No, that was on my page.
That was not me.
That was me
really?
again.
I apologize, Marlon.
You really think I will show a Scarface done by kids?
That was hilarious.
I was wrong. I'm sorry.
That's like
That was hilarious. Because what they were making fun of is school plays, which they are all terrible. If you go to a school play and they're in kindergarten to like fifth grade, you're going to see some mess.
LL said the first step to healing is acceptance, Theus. You're going to have to accept that you're traumatized, Theus.
Y'all
No,
can't tell me how to work through my issues.
it was
Yeah, you
not
got
last
issues
year.
because you
It was
bring that up.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was actually 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones that I showed. All right, everybody, let's move on to the next one so me and Theus can go ahead and get this argument over with, because we always do when it comes to companies and cultures and work relations and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. 2 weeks notice.
Hey, Veronica, do you have a second? Yeah. I received your resignation? Yes, I also left a copy on your desk for your records. But it's effective immediately? I really would prefer a 2-week notice. Yes, I start my new job effective immediately, so today is actually my last day. I'm gonna have to ask you to give a full 2 weeks. What happens if I don't give a full 2 weeks? It would make you ineligible for rehire. With all due respect, Janet, I would rather sell my ass on OBT than to get rehired here, so I'm really not worried about getting rehired. You know, Veronica, giving us a 2-week notice, it really helps us out with being able to find your replacement. Didn't you just let Amy go last week, effective immediately? It not giving her time to go find a new job the same way you're asking for 2 weeks to find a new employee? It just seems like it's more for your benefit than for ours.
Say that again.
So
Here we go.
I think that the 2-week notice is an outdated relic. I think it's something that is professional to do, but it is outdated, and I think 2 weeks is kind of arbitrary. It depends on your role. So, like roles that I have occupied in the past, 2-week notice makes sense, normal thing. Current role, apparently they needed 2 months. Uh, so, it really depends on what you do and how you, as an individual, value certain things, right? So, like, um, I give a notice. I would prefer, because I can't say I will always. I would prefer to give a notice to my employer because of what it says about me to me, not about them. I care less about them. But I have peers, I have things like that. Most companies are very understanding, and then they actually appreciate that you're giving a 2-week notice to your current employer, because that makes them think that if you were leaving, you're going to do the same thing for them, right? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But if you don't give a 2-week notice, you don't give a 2-week notice.
Wow. And it only took the end of the year for me to agree with Theos on all of this. Only took 365 days.
That's because you just refuse to let yourself acknowledge that I'm right.
I refuse.
Oh my God.
I see exactly.
Actually refuse.
But I welcome you because I allow you to find your way in your own time.
No. See, that's when you take it too far. My point is, the last part of what she said was correct. I've felt this for years, decades, probably. Well, I ain't gonna say from the time I was working. That's a lie. Because we were brought under the concept that you give a 2 weeks notice. But what she said at the end was absolutely true. You want to give your company, your employee, a 2 weeks notice so they can find your replacement. That's admirable. I get that. But when you're fired, you're fired. Like you're walking out the door the second they say you're fired, You sign papers saying that you're fired.
Isn't there usually a reason that you're fired, though?
Yeah, and that's what's on the papers that you signed.
But most states, no, because in some states, like Indiana, they can fire you literally. I don't like that blue on you.
They a lot of them, right to work states don't have to go through any special process, but they do because they don't want to get tied up in lawsuits and losing workers' comp claim. I mean, unemployment claim. So they follow a process so that they'll be able to deny your unemployment, or so that you can't really sue them and win. So even in a right to work state, there's still processes tied in. And then also it's not a one-to-one thing. You know, if you get a new job, that was you. You don't, like Marlon often says, you the only one to know the rules. That was you. You on my dime as the employer, doing your job, which is all I can ask you to do. And then you are out trying to find somewhere else to be. And then you find somewhere else to be, and then you decide to go. Right? But only you knew about all of this. I don't know about none of this. Conversely, when you're getting fired, more often than not, there was a process that led up to the day that you were terminated, or you did something that we all know would be grounds for quick termination, right? Like you didn't come to work for 3 days. You cursed at a client. You know, there's some things that's gonna be like, hey, let's can you come with me real quick, right? But otherwise, you know your performance ain't been right. They've been writing you up so they could protect themselves from a lawsuit.
The stories that I show that I don't really, but the stories that I listen to when, and all of a sudden because we was bought out that we was fired, and the next thing you know we're out the door and everything else. Those are horrible stories. They do happen, but they're outliers.
But those are layoffs, right?
Those are just layoffs.
Right.
When you're fired, you know the reason you're fired. You know the reason. You were surprised that it came. Don't know why.
Yeah, you didn't know it was going to happen on Tuesday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But you knew it was coming. You know, that's the norm. You knew it was coming. You work from home, and the next thing you know, you had your performance at work was half. Well, your performance at home was half of your performance at work. They asked you to come back to work. You said, "Nah, I'm not gonna come back to work because we have the choice to work from home." Okay, and then you still doing half the work at home. Okay, you have every right to do that. They don't have the right to fire you.
Yeah, they got the right to fire you, but you do not have the right. You have the ability. You ain't got the right to sit here and steal half my money. You steal it.
Yeah, most of them, if your performance at home is bad, they're going to bring you into the, like, they don't even leave you a choice. It's like you go to the office, here's your security pass. We expect to see you in the office. Oh, and bring your equipment. And then once you improve, then you go back home.
And one of the remedies here, which you know is easy for me to say because it's what I believe and is what I believe that I will be driving my businesses under. You want a 2-week notice, you should drive a culture in which people want to give you a 2-week notice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's how you get a 2-week notice, right? Now, there's going to be those who won't, either because they got a job and they just need to move because the new job needs them now, right? Or they won't give you a notice because they didn't like you, and everybody ain't going to like you, and they're not going to like your company, and they just dip, right? But overall, are you dealing with a situation where 70-80% of your employees that leave give you a 2-week or a 30-day notice? Like in my roles that I've been in more recently over the last few years, 2-week notice don't mean nothing. If you try to give one of my employers a 2-week notice, they be like, man, it's gone. You know, because we need you way more than 30 days. because you own projects. You know, there are deliverables that are tied to you. So 2 week notice is almost like giving them the finger, you know. But you do what you got to do.
As a
These companies
person,
ain't got no loyalty.
as a person that has been terminated from several jobs, not that I'm proud of them, but if I look back, I'm like, yeah, probably.
What specifically does terminated
That
mean?
means they say, "Hey, you fired." I got fired.
Expired. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
fired
I
and
was trying. I
termination
was
is
trying
the
to make
same
it
thing.
sound fluffy so I can make myself look good.
I'm sorry, but it makes a difference.
Well, not to them because they're paying you no more. You gone.
Not really, Anna. Termination
It's a
is a
prettier
more
word.
formal way of
If
saying it. Fired is
the
who?
common
Fired
person,
is
Hey, Anna, perhaps you're considering termination and resignation.
yeah.
because
Um,
the last job I had. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm trying to I'm trying to figure this out. Fired and terminated is basically the
Same
same thing.
thing. They're the exact same thing.
But in
I
the
just
paper,
needed to know that.
yeah, paper. But on the paperwork, I get what you. Okay, I get what you're saying, Anna. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Yeah. But like I said, as a
It
person that has been terminated from,
hold on for a
oh,
second,
go
Tracy.
ahead.
Hold on. In the paperwork that you have to sign to say, you know, that you're leaving the company, they're getting rid of you, they would never have the word fired on there. It would
Right.
say terminated.
Right.
Okay, go
I
ahead, Tracy.
sorry.
I'm gonna be with the sketch that I just saw. I'm with it all the way. They don't give you two. They tell you that day. They make it hard. Let's put it like this: the job that I had before the one I have now, I was just out. I didn't give a 2 week notice because it was just driving me. I'm like, I can't go here anymore. I can't do it. I cannot do it. So I just quit. I just didn't show up. It's like, don't call me. I'm not coming back. I wouldn't do that now because that was wrong. I should have said, hey, I'm resigning, but I didn't. But it's more, like they say, it's more convenience. If you're, when you're unhappy at a job, you, you literally, I was just like, heck, I work at Amazon. When they got to that point, I was like, nah, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. In the other situations, they said, oh, Tracy, it's time for you to go. But I'm with that sketch. They don't give you when they fire somebody. Oh, trust me, they've been looking. When they let you go, they've been looking around to see who can take your place. Which is why I advocate for people owning their own businesses because you should be the only one saying when you don't work. Because if you depend on somebody else, you in a bad situation, and that's what I'm moving towards because I don't want somebody telling me, oh well, you've got to do this and this. And no, I want to be the one dictating my schedule. Maybe I don't want to work on Tuesdays, maybe I don't want to work Fridays, but maybe I'll work Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Wednesday. I want to have a choice over that. So yeah, I agree with that sketch 100%. You want 2 weeks notice, but you'll fire anybody and not give them um time, you know, notice. They'll give you notice that day. And they also make it hard for you to get unemployment. True story. I got unemployment 3 months after I had gotten a new job. I kept getting denied, finally got approved. And I'm like, well, I have a job now. It took 3 months for them. They kept denying me and I kept appealing. And
Yeah.
by the time I actually
Yeah.
got it, I was already in another job. Now I took the money. I'm not gonna
They
send it back. You gonna send it to me? I'm gonna spend it because you said it's mine. For all those months I didn't work, but now I have a job. Like
they was
the
they
whole
was
So, oh,
they was running your money is what
literally.
we've been calling it. It's running your money. It's the equivalent of do you have enough money for appeals? If you don't, you stop appealing and just get
No,
a
but the
job.
appeals process, at least in my state, it doesn't cost you anything. You just write. You
No, no, no,
just
no,
keep
no,
appealing.
no, not cost you. It's I'm not I want to hold on to all the unemployment compensation that we already have on you and
That
I
little
don't
bit
want
of
to give
money they
that
give
money
you,
up.
you
Yeah.
realize unemployment is not, despite what Congress thinks, it's not a get rich quick scheme.
Oh, it's not for
So
Congress, it's not for the government, but for a company, yeah.
no. So wait. Well, so couple quick things. Insurance guy, right?
Mhm.
So unemployment is insurance. So them not paying out unemployment benefits to you, that's not money they're pocketing. They pay a premium. They don't pay your benefits. So what they're doing by denying your claims is trying to keep their insurance from going up, right? Um, and what's interesting is if you get terminated for cause, realistically, you shouldn't be trying to get unemployment because you know that you're in violation of why you got terminated. Now, if they terminated you without cause, then that's what unemployment insurance is for. But that's nobody's going to treat it like that. Everybody's just going to file because that's what they're going to do, right? Everybody's going to file, and then it's up to them to get denied. And that's what helps create that part of the system, right? Now, full disclosure, insurance companies are horrible. They're horrible, but we help create the problems that we live in because we want to file a claim for anything, even if it's not justified, because we believe, well, if I'm not supposed to have it, you won't give it to me. Okay, so now you're creating noise in the system. And then you got on the other end of it, well, I got another job. Well, then, okay, well, do you still need that money? I don't need it, but the fact remains is you would have had to pay me for 6 weeks. And the fact that I got another job while you were dragging your feet ain't got nothing to do with them 6 weeks. So give me my money
No, I
for
was
them six
unemployed
weeks.
for 3 months, not weeks, months.
But I'm not, the reason why I'm picking different times is because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about us. Because this is insurance is a macro situation. We literally create the problem that we then turn around and complain about. You know, we if you get into a small car accident, everybody want to claim an injury. Well, if everybody want to claim an injury, no matter what type of accident you're in, guess what that means? That means the insurance company got to pay more for investigators. They got to pay more for bodily injury adjusters. They got to pay more for attorneys. They got to pay more for settlements. All that stuff goes into the mix. Now everybody's premium got to go up, right? So we literally create the problem. And then the insurance companies, they don't, it's like whatever. Okay, we'll just raise the cost. But then the cost continues to escalate because the insurance companies are greedy and they get attached to the fact that they can keep getting more money. So now they used to have reasons for increasing our premiums. They don't even give us reasons no more. They just go up. So it's like we literally help create our own problem, and then the
Yeah, because
problem
it's
gets
not like you
out of
can't have
hand.
insurance. Well, I'm drop my car insurance. I don't feel, yeah, right, okay.
Right, but reason why people can't afford their car insurance, we would have to go back to get there because there's no way to unwind the clock, so to speak. But the reason people don't have insurance is because it's expensive, right? I mean, you can have one car and your car insurance is like $400 a month for some people. That is bananas, right? So what happens? What happens is people who are lower income or not good with their money or just don't get insurance and they just play the odds and say, hopefully I'll be a safe driver and hopefully nothing happens till it happens.
Till it happens.
And so now the person with no insurance, if they're the one who gets hit, they're going straight to the insurance company, pay me, your insured did this to me. But knowing good and damn well that if they were the cause for the accident, ain't no help for nobody.
Okay.
That's a moral hazard.
One executive decision and an announcement. LL, you kind of messed up the second one. Can we have some wonderful conversation about insurance policy standards of all sorts of stuff? Okay, executive is I'm shutting down the show. We're way over 12 o'clock. I'm not even going to show the next video. We'll be here till 1 o'clock. Because the next video is controversial and you know how we are. So we'll be here for a while. Number two, and I haven't talked to Theas about it, so this is literally the first time I'll be talking to Theas about it. So I'll talk to Theas on air. Theas knows how I stand with him and his content on his shows. They are phenomenal. I've never had any issue with Theas. Only thing I've ever jumped on Theas about is he does it every other president, and it's never out there, and blah blah blah, and everything else. So
Every third president, thank you.
Every third president, whatever. So your question was, can we have wonderful conversations about insurance policies, standards of all sorts of stuff? And my question to Theas is, would you like to start next year, start doing shows like that with you in charge of it? Mainly the stuff that you was doing on your shows on this show. And I'm saying you because I don't know jack squat. And you had phenomenal content about insurance, about building wealth, about building wealth through insurance, and all sorts of stuff. And I'm not tooting my horn when I say this, but my platform is bigger than your platform, so it gets out to a bigger audience. But the bigger audience needs the exact same content that you was already putting out anyway. That would help the bigger thing. It was helpful. Everything that you said was making absolute sense. And I really think and honestly think your content would help a lot of people.
Interesting that you should say that. So
bank
no
accounts for
problem.
poor people.
Yeah, no problem having any conversation you guys want to have here anytime. But on the new platform that I'll be launching, that is one of the things that will be occurring, but it'll be for members, so it'll be behind the wall, so to speak. But then, of course, there will just be conversations, right? So, a little sneak peek with that. So, any conversation you guys want to have here on the platform, you know I'm here because I'm part of the family, right? So we make it happen. As far as workshops and really going into detail and things like that, that will occur on the our United Core platform, and everything is happening behind the membership wall for the most part, because that's how I'll be able to fund helping with seniors with their prescription costs, or helping with doing the education workshops for children and things like that. So that content will exist. It's just going to be over there.
Yeah, and I'm not willing to take that away from that, because the income revenue that's coming from that is going to help a lot of people. So to answer your
Well, it
question,
doesn't take away. I mean, me talking, I was in some
We
of the
could
research
have
that I've been
some
doing.
very specific
Yeah,
conversations, like about either health insurance, or we can take it something that we have all come across.
yeah. I mean,
okay,
we can have like high level discussions here, and then not only that is, you think about it. One of the great things that you do for all of us is that you do represent all of us and give us an opportunity to speak. So they will help me with reaching people who might decide that they want to become a member and help with the continuous giving campaigns that we do. So it all comes back together.
health insurance policy
Right.
is totally different, but I'm down with another show. Yeah, um, I'm proud of myself. I'm going to toot my horn because it's almost the end of the year. I'm so proud of myself
Should be.
that I got 3 different people on here with 3 different ways of life, 3 different knowledges, 3 different upbringing, that I can drink from their knowledge. I don't know jack squat what Theas be saying on this show. Not a clue. But if I have an insurance question, Guess who I'm going through? Going to. You can tell it's late at night. Guess who I'm going
Early in the
to?
morning.
Or early in the morning.
Yeah. Or early in the morning.
Neighbor.
If
Oh,
I
neighbor.
have a biblical question, who you think I'm going to? I'm going to Tracy. Mental whatever. ... Guess who I'm going to? Anna. And by the way, Anna is also in a different category. And these groups that I'm learning about, ... Guess who I'm going to? Anna. Because I done discovered some groups that's just like, come on now, really? Are you serious? This is a freaking group. Yeah, it's a group. Oh, come on. So yes,
Hey,
I'm gonna
2 or more is a group.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is 2 people. Boom.
In fact, you get the right
apparently
individual person, and you can have a whole group.
Apparently not. 2 is not enough no
Yeah, and
more.
I wouldn't be calling me on biblical questions. I halfway be like, that ain't a
Well,
good
that's
thing
what
to
I
do.
mean. But you do bring some
But if you want to talk
conversation.
about independent politics and third party politics, then that's your
Yeah, I
lane.
would call me on that first because I be trying, but nah, I ain't nowhere near where I need to be.
And Anna can call you LL. Next year is going to be a whirlwind for me because I have so many ideas of where I want to lead this group, lead this channel that I'm trying to put in order, but it's like, yeah. So one of the things I can tell you right now is the call in and having people call in, it costs money.
Yep, it's not free.
And I have determined to myself that I cannot, in good faith and economically, spend any more money on this channel. The channel's gonna have to start paying for themselves. So when I tell you to start subscribing so we can start getting paid, this is what I mean. I cannot spend any more money on this channel. And I don't mean getting better computer equipment and better microphones and things like that. That's common sense
What
stuff.
about hiring Javier back?
Yeah, Javier
Yeah,
needs his job
I
back.
am Javier.
Oh, now he's Javier, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Tracy could be Tracy. I could be Javier.
Well, Tracy's always Tracy.
Speaking of third person, Anna, you already went through that today.
That was yesterday. Today's not speaking the third person day.
Hey,
Always December
God,
the
it was
1st.
only 24 hours.
Still
Shoot.
don't know why you dislike it. It's a fun day.
Because I graduated high school.
And
But my point is that I would love to start adding certain things to certain things, but if we can find a way to make it free or cheap, cool. But if it's something that just like straight out of pocket, I'm sorry, I can't. I really can't.
who knows how we would act with a call-in show? Because somebody say something stupid, I ain't gonna make no promises. I'm gonna try to remember I'm saved, but it may not work out that way if I get somebody like gonna just talk crazy. I'm telling you now. That's why I don't do it. I'm like, no.
Or now he's Javier. I've always been Javier. They made up a person just to diminish my talent.
All the money he's got.
I ain't got a chat.
Again,
Okay, Javier, we know you're out there and we're going to still fight for you.
that's right. In
I'm telling you, man.
solidarity.
He can try to erase you, but we'll
Javier,
always
that's my
remember
question.
you, bro.
Javier was the name, though.
You don't know? I can't
I
remember.
don't know why his mama named him Javier.
Yeah.
Mama didn't name. I don't know. Just tell everybody where they can find you. I'm sick of this doggone group. I'm glad it's the end of the year.
Hey, yeah, you can find me right here hanging out with Marlon and what you call it when he's on and when I'm on, because like holiday season, I'm gonna be ghost here finishing out the year a few times, but this is definitely the best place to find me for now. And then you've already heard my disclosure for what's coming down the line. I'll keep dropping some gems here and there, but big things coming. So
I can't wait to hear more.
Anna?
Thank you.
I can be found at borreliaetc.com. All links and such right on the site.
Tracy?
You can find all of my videos except for the one I did today because it doesn't actually go on my website. So you got to go to my YouTube page. But you can connect to my YouTube page through my website, TracyMediaLLC.com. I thought I did a fantastic job on the interview today. It was a really good one.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
Why, yes, I'm an evil left-wing sheeple snowflake working for the deep state, here to force your wives to get abortions and then leave you for transgender lesbians. Yes, it was us Antifa that stormed the Capitol.
Thank you for not playing that garbage all the way through. Thank you. I want to thank you.
and of course,
I'm assuming you're LGBTQ until you.
I appreciate Theas, I appreciate Anna, I appreciate Tracy, and until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
So we got rid of my man, George, Mr. Santos. We hardly knew thee.